Alright. We're live then, we're live then. So, first things first, real simple, real simple. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
You've got the chicken on a stack of chips.
Yeah, so it was the most convenient spot to place him.
Sorry. Sorry, I'm composed. Yeah, hi. Hi, hello. I'm Guy for Alan. You take your pick. And I'm currently residing on a stack of fucking chips. Sorry. It's really funny. I have not seen this until now. He just threw this at me, so this is new to me. Yeah, hi. I'm a Twitch streamer. I do a bit of YouTube. I do everything. I've been doing this 7 years now, and I've officially had a longer intro than Onikana. So technically, I win. That's it. I'm good.
That's it, you're good? Alright,
That's
alright.
stack of chips.
Yeah.
How much are those worth? Like roughly, how much in chips there?
Let's see, how much would those be worth? Let's see, so reds, blues, ballpark of about 2,000, that's about it.
Okay, so I'm not a high roller. Fair enough. Fuck you. I
Oh,
tried.
no,
Thanks, man.
the orange next to you is worth 40k.
Okay, I'll take it. Thanks. That's good. Look at you, though. I can't see yours. I can see the dealer. You're not holding nothing, so whatever. We're fine. Thanks, mate. This is really cool. I like... This has really done me. Thank you. Thank you.
Works perfectly fine. I've seen weirder things placed on top of chips before. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I need these stories, mate. Later. We'll get that.
Anyhow, so why streaming? Why content creation in general? Why did you pick it all up?
Good question. Hi, hello. So, wait, do I get to ask about you? Because you've introduced me.
Oh
We get
yeah,
from
sure.
you.
You
You're the host.
can ask, sure.
Yeah, run me through it. We want to know about you know me. You know what I do. Give me a tiny bit about yourself.
Let's see. Hello. Name's Eco or Ecoist. Yep, take your pick. Either of them bloody works. Yeah, I just interview people. Honestly, that's about the extent of what I do. That's
Okay.
what I've done for like 4 years at this point. Christ.
Jesus, mate. Yeah. Well, fucking, you're enjoying it. Got a talent for it. You've made something of it. Because before this, I'm not trying to turn this on. I'm sorry. Before this, you did this. Like you've done this. You've done it in all circles now, right?
Yeah. I've done it a bunch of other places as well. I've even done any kind of stage MCing and any kind of stage shows here and there.
So if
This
it's in
and
front
that.
of people, you excel at it. Really. What is what I'm hearing?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Like,
Thanks for asking. Sorry if I put that back on you. Anyway, you asked me. Why don't I get into it? I wanted to make people. It's gonna sound so fucking cliche. Well, I can swear, right? I've already done it. What do
oh
I
yeah,
do?
no,
Wait,
you can
what?
go ahead.
Okay,
I'm,
good,
Aussie, I'm Aussie, mate. What do you expect?
I know, but you never know. But you're also New South Wales. So anyway, I had it's very cliche, but I wanted to make people laugh because I was in a job prior to this where I excelled at making people sad, which is unfortunate, but that was just the nature of the job. And now I get to make people laugh on a daily basis. Again, it's really cliche, but I just wanted to do something different. I've also been gaming my whole life, so it worked out, right? It was just 1 + 1 = 2, and here we are.
Ah, fair enough then, fair enough. I mean, I get that sentiment. I'm in a job that makes people go through the entire spectrum of emotions, so yeah.
I mean, I open up with laughing like really hard, so I think we're good. Like I genuinely enjoyed that.
Because, yeah, fair enough. So games for all of your life, figured that you wanted
Yeah,
to make
mate.
people laugh then. So why not
Yeah,
go to
that's-
like stand-up comedy? Why go straight to streaming?
Because stand-up comedy, there's a number one. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't believe like to be a stand-up comic, you've really got to know. You've really got to know that you're funny. You've really got to know. And I can make people laugh, absolutely, but can I do it consistently for the course of however long a stand-up comic show goes? Sometimes they go long. I don't know if you've been to a few, but they can go for a while. And that is why I didn't pivot into stand-up comedy. I've got the confidence, and that's not a problem. I've got the public speaking down. It was just more so, can I make a set that will go for an hour and a half, sometimes 2 or even 3? Can I do that? Am I capable of doing that? I'm not sure. And also the stand-up comedy set is it's brutal. Like it's a hard. I talk to my friends who have done it, and it's brutal. It's really hard. It's not much like any gig where you are eventually, much like streaming actually.
Yeah.
Starting out is difficult. It's a hard thing to do. No one knows who the fuck you are. No one cares about you realistically. You're doing bars and pubs and clubs, and you don't have an in. You really are pretty much walking up to them and saying, hey, do you want an act? Because I can do it, right, for this evening. So that's the whole thing. That is primarily why I didn't go into comedy immediately, because it was just a massive slog, and I didn't think that I could be funny enough for 3 hours consistently.
Oh, yeah. 3 hours is a lot of bloody time to be on a stage show. How does one put it? You'll tire out really bloody quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, fuck yeah, it'll be done. Also, there's lights are burning you. You're just dripping sweat. It's a whole thing. So, yeah, that's why I pivoted away from comedy. Again, like, I'm funny, but not... I don't think I'm stand-up comedy funny. You've got to have something else. So, yeah, that was why. And streaming has been a great outlet. For that. I get to make people laugh. Primarily, I tend to put them to sleep, actually, which would be insulting if that also wasn't kind of my goal.
Putting people to sleep, eh? Huh.
Well, everyone has a... You want to pitch... You want to... So, for example, like, if you were to pitch yourself to someone, right? Because for me, I say, cool, I'm background noise. My constant thing is the best background noise on Twitch. Whether that's true or not, it doesn't matter. Who's going to fight me on that? How would you pitch yourself in a nutshell?
Oh, I'd actually go for roughly the same thing. I'd just be like, yeah, put me on in the back. Everyone really does it. There's not much to see here. Just listen in.
Exactly. That's what it is. It's a podcast and talk show. So I same thing, right? Do the similar things. Sometimes I game and that's it. That is the gist of it in the background. I've for the now 7 years. I've always said to people that just if you're doing vacuuming, you're doing housework, it doesn't matter. You got me at work. I constantly take polls of the audience and say, hey guys, if you're at work right now, like doing something you probably shouldn't be doing, just roll your face across the keyboard. Just let me know. Like, it's okay, I won't judge. And there's usually a lot of people who are watching me during their day. It's gotten to the point now where I almost feel guilty for not streaming, because there's people who require, I'm sure you are in the same camp, that there are people who listen to you and borderline require your content to be able to not necessarily function, but either to sleep or to go about their day. Like, that's what they do. They know you, they know your stuff. They either listen to you live or they listen to your VODs. They require it. Positive you have people like that.
So back in my radio days, I used to be on the drive section of the show, basically. So what it would be is when people would be driving home. So 4 p.m., 6 p.m. roughly would be my time slot. So if I wasn't producing, I'd be live during those times. And essentially it'd just be like, okay, I'll put on some music, I'll do a couple of interviews, talk about some particular opinion pieces here and there, and whatever band we had playing at the given time. And that was people's routine. They'd know that if they tuned in on certain days to this radio show, they'd be listening to my voice specifically.
Well, yeah, they know you're the hosts, right? So that's, of course, they're there. People are there for that. Yeah, absolutely. You know all about it, man. So, yeah, it's just that. It's the same deal. I now feel guilty if I'm not live because I have people who require me almost to, not necessarily function, but same deal. Same deal as yourself. That's what they tune in for. And if you're not there, if they're not there, they're either going to go somewhere else, and that's fine. I hope they do, but they'll either be upset, they'll be sad or upset, and I don't want to do that to people. So yeah, I almost feel guilty for not streaming. That's the point it's gotten. Like that is the negative of doing the whole background noise thing. Just because people become dependent on it.
Fair enough. Would you say then that it's important to keep a schedule of some kind for streaming?
Oh boy, that's a long topic, but I'll try and short it down. Wait, for you yourself, your schedule for this.
Let's see. My schedule for this used to be whenever the bloody hell a guest was available, pretty much. Bare minimum, I used to do one of these interviews every week. It's just that I've had maybe 8 or 9 people that I hit up, arranged the time with, then got flaked on up until this point, which is why there was a drought of like 3 or 4 months of just no interviews.
Tracks entirely. Yeah, no, I'm sorry for that. Well, look, I was never going to flake on you.
No.
Sorry.
But for you, I just tried throwing in whatever time slot was spare, and it just happened that every single time slot was spare on a certain point.
And you've got, this is your day off. I really appreciate this, by the way. Like, I want to let people know that DMs outside of this, he mentioned this is his day off, and I thank you for that. So
that's it. Yeah, for me, like, I used to do most of these interviews on my days off anyway. There was the rare occasion I'd get an Aussie, which happened to be available late at night, and I'd be like, oh, yeah, sure, I'll take you on.
Absolutely. Has it been difficult for you to find people overseas?
Let's see, I've had people from Europe, I've had people from Southeast Asia, both sides of the US, Canada. Let's see. Pretty much all over the bloody shop, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So rather, it's harder to find people that are bloody local.
Yeah. Well, also finding oh man, that's a whole spiel. Finding Australians to actually Aussies, yeah, to actually pin down and have a time. Yeah, no, absolutely. You've got your work cut out for you. Sorry, I digressed entirely. I pivoted the question back to, you said schedule. It is important to have a schedule. It is. Right. It is important to have one, especially if you're trying to grow your channel. And I am the worst defender of that because I no longer have a schedule. I haven't had a schedule for... Fuck. I want to say, like, I will be live usually 6 days a week.
Damn.
But yeah, it's long. It's 6 days a week usually. Sometimes 7, if I can be real. But it's because I'm contracted with Twitch, so it's a little bit different.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Then.
Exclusivity deal with them, so that requires certain things and stipulations, and one of those is that I've got to be around a certain amount of time, and so 6 days is usually the best way to get that done. So prior to that contract, having a schedule was imperative for either growth or trying to have people discover you and be there, because the trick to growth on Twitch, it's in your name, right? It's .tv. Despite the fact that is registered at Tuvalu, it obviously just means TV. You're a TV station. If you know that 6 p.m. every single day the news is going on, and you know that your host, whatever their name is going to be there, and then one day you turn on the television and they're not there at 6 p.m., those people are just going to go somewhere else. And it's the exact same thing with Twitch, right? There is a big culture of that, and that's absolutely how it works. So having a schedule is imperative. Then when I got signed, that dropped away because having the schedule became less important, and just doing the hours became more important. So yeah.
Let's say, so how many hours is it anyhow? Because like the average full timer. I can't discuss it,
but I can tell it's a full-time job.
Okay, so full timer by my definition is basically 38 plus hours
a week.
So
it's more than that. Yeah, absolutely. I can tell you that it is. Because I've got to obviously dance around because I can't say the numbers.
I
can't say.
Fine.
But it is more than 150 hours a month. I can tell you that much.
Ooh.
And it's more than 150, and it's less than 240. I feel comfortable saying. So it's a fair bit.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot.
It's a full-time job. Like I said, it's a full-time gig. It's a full-time gig. If I'm doing 8 hours a day for 6 days a week, I'm going to be fine. Right, it's a full-time gig. It's a lot.
Christ, yeah, that is a lot.
Yeah, but then at the same time, like people do a 9 to 5 every day. That's okay too. The difference is with a 9 to 5, you're getting things like you get benefits, you get sick leave.
Oh yeah,
you don't get that as a streamer. So
yeah, when you're self-employed,
you know all about you. Oh my god, I'm preaching to the choir. Like you know all about that. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, normally the one that sits next to me is self-employed. So yeah. I hear plenty from her. Anyhow.
Yeah. Have you interviewed her?
Oh, yeah. I interviewed her, kept talking afterwards, kept talking for way too long afterwards. Eventually.
Is that how it happened?
Yeah.
Hey, that's awesome. When was this? Sorry, when was that? That's awesome.
That was October, almost 2 years ago.
Fuck yeah, dude. Congratulations.
No, June, July,
that's
almost 2 years ago. Yeah, July of almost 2 years ago.
Dude, yes, that's so fucking cool. So you just got along really well.
Yeah, pretty much got along really well. Ended up like she moved from bloody Canada just to live over here. So yeah.
Oh my! Shut the fuck up. That is so fucking cool. Congratulations. So many questions. Did you do it during a pandemic? Like, did you did it during? Did you move? What? Did you get a what? Did you do this during a pandemic? Did you pull that off?
Let's say we tried getting it done during the pandemic, or at least a visit over at first during the pandemic. That we missed the mark by about 3 months, because you remember that second lockdown? Yeah, that was hit rough, during that time. Yeah. And then after that, came over in the following year. Was meant to only stay for 2.5 weeks, stayed for almost 3 months. Went back for like 2 months and then just came back and stayed. Pretty much.
That's and now you've got I'm assuming you got the partner visa now. You're all sorted.
I'd say that's in progress, unfortunately, because a lot of bloody requirements. Yeah,
it does. But you've got the bridging visa for it though. So fuck yeah, fantastic.
I've got my options. Yes.
Yeah, you've got your options, dude. That's wonderful. Congratulations. That's so cool. You interview someone and then just wow. So it's more than just friendships, really. You made from this. It's way more than that.
Yeah. So interviews, depending on whether I hit it off with someone, I'm like, okay, do I want to hit them back up? Yes, no, all right. We'll see how things go down the line. In this one's case, it was literally getting messaged every single day. Yep.
That's fucking cute. Pretty fucking cute.
Don't worry about it. Go back to sleep.
Fairy tale romance, though, right? Like, love that. Congratulations.
Yeah. When it comes to like scheduling, programming, and all that, yeah, it's the same as any kind of TV syndication, I would say. Realistically speaking, like you're there. You run your program, and with streaming, I would say there's realistically no proper ending to your program. So it's not like you're gonna have like a season on syndicated TV and then suddenly disappear and be a direct-to-DVD sequel or anything. No.
Correct.
You're always there. It's just that at this point, I don't know. I'd say there's slight competition with syndicated TV, but not quite the same because, you got your live, real personality in front of you compared to something that's probably acted out or any kind of reality TV scripting or whatnot.
Do you think that syndicated TV in that regard is on the way out?
I think it'll just go more online because it's just more profitable that way.
Me too. That's and you've seen it across TV stations and whatnot. I think radio is the one that people still have it. Obviously, cars exist for a reason, but I think radio is going to stay with us. But I'm surprised radio is actually stuck around for as long as it has.
If you want to know the figures, the highest listenership I had at a concurrent time was 50,000 people.
That sounds like a ton, but I suppose in the scheme of things, it's not, right?
Yeah, in the grand scheme of things, it's not, but I was just a radio that was broadcasting to the state.
But that's still a lot, though. Yeah. I love that. It's still a lot. That's a lot for your particular area. Yeah.
Yeah.
And is that a big shift for you? Because you've gone from not having, well, you did interview people, but I assume predominantly there wasn't feedback. It was just you. And you had to be good with being by yourself. Talking
pretty much.
Avoid.
Yeah.
That never just by yourself talking to avoid. Is it more enjoyable now having someone to bounce things off?
Yeah, it's a lot more enjoyable having someone to bounce things off with, because back then, if you had to drag someone on for an interview, you had maybe 5 minutes of preamble with them. Then you had 5 minutes to talk with them on air, and then that was it. You then had to put on some music, maybe 10 minutes of closing, and then throw them out of your studio.
Wow. So they were there only for like the shortest possible time to discuss X, Y, and Z.
Yep. And the worst part is, since I was on an educational channel, we mostly had scientists and researchers come along.
Well, scientists and researchers is fantastic, but I understand
condensing it down to 5 minutes is like, oh god,
yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
How do you? Yeah, they want to talk about their great breakthrough, and you're like, yeah, you've got 5 minutes, buddy. Wrap it up. Like, what do you do?
You got 5 minutes, because I think the funky ones I've done before is like talking to Mahjong champions from Australia and then talking to some guys about social deduction stuff.
You've done everything. That's like opposite ends of the spectrum.
Oh, you'd be surprised how good Australia is at Mahjong.
Okay, real cool. I don't know how to. I don't fucking know how to play Mahjong. I have no idea.
Oh,
I've seen it played.
Yeah, don't worry too much about it. Just know that we've been number one in the world for a couple of years some time ago.
What, Australia?
Yes, Australia.
Is it okay? Is it? So I know we're pivoting, but I gotta ask: is it a game of? I've got so many fucking. Oh my god, you can hear me burring into my microphone. I'm just face palming. So I don't know. Is it a game of skill, or is it a game of luck, or is it a bit of both?
Let's see. It's converting your skill into luck, basically. So you're taking it and minimalizing the amount of luck. A good player will outclass a newbie player at Mahjong about 9 times out of 10, I would say.
Okay, as expected, because, they're good.
Yeah. But
it is a game that... Okay, all right. Yeah, so you can get really good at it. Australia,
there's about the same kind of ranking system as you'd see in chess, roughly.
Okay, wow, fair enough. If you had told me that Australia, well, you have now, obviously, but if someone had said to before that Australia is the one in the world for Mahjong. I would have not believed that for a second.
Oh, our best are down in Melbourne. Up here in Sydney, we're kind of jobbers, but yeah.
Stunned! How the fuck does that? I've got so many questions. Look, I did not expect to come on here and get more questions. As in, like, I got questions. I knew that, but like, I didn't know that I would have to be going down a rabbit hole after this because I'm going to, because I need answers to these things. You can't tell me. Okay, whatever. Fuck, I don't even know how to play the game. We touched on before, like Baccarat, and you said it's just straight gambling, and I want to know more. Like, I want to know more. It's just, I've got so many questions. Anyway, I'm sorry. I digress entirely. Yes.
Oh, don't worry. It's the point of this whole thing, because unlike radio, where I had 5 minutes, I've got a good chunk of time here, and that's fine.
Okay, good. Thanks. That helps a lot. Yeah, no. But to answer the original, yeah, schedule. Super important. Absolutely required. If you want to grow your channel, if you're looking to do that, yeah, get one. And eventually you can not have one, but to start out, yeah, you require it, get it. It'll help a lot. It's like a posting schedule for YouTube. Same deal. People do it for a reason.
Okay. Fair enough. Because like famous examples of posting schedules used to be like, let's say, Markiplier or PewDiePie posting like 2 times in the same fucking day.
Just that's being insane.
Like, yeah.
No, that is absolutely insane. How much work goes into all of that. Mind you, here's like a team of editors that are doing it. It doesn't matter. That's still a lot.
It's a heck of a lot at that point is the thing. And that was when those two were first starting out is the thing. Yeah, they had kept that really up all the way. And it's just like, yeah, bloody shows, of course.
Yeah, they went really hard at it. And yeah, you are right. It showed. They blew up. They became... I don't want to use the word household, but I suppose to an extent.
They kind of are, unfortunately. But
yeah, they are now.
Yeah,
right? Yeah. People know them, absolutely know them. Everyone knows PewDiePie and Markiplier, absolutely. And they've done really well of it. Props to them. But 2 videos, that is an unrealistic schedule to maintain, and that's why they haven't done it. I think they burned out both at some point, didn't they? And they've done different things. Since.
Like it was like PewDiePie's case, I think, was just not wanting to keep just uploading Happy Wheels after Happy Wheels after Happy Wheels. And for Markiplier was wanting to try and distance a little bit from just doing horror games over and over and over again.
Oh yeah. People loved his horror because of his reactions, and that was fantastic. But I understand entirely if that's all you do constantly, you want to do different things. And he's done that. He's succeeded. He's done very well.
Yeah. He's pushed his content in bunch of different directions, even going down to writing like scripted content and just handling that kind of stuff instead.
I haven't seen any of it. I haven't seen
some of it's half decent. Writing here and there, a bit iffy, but for the most part, nothing too wild. I
wonder if there's a team of writers. I've got no idea.
Let's just say,
I'm genuinely curious.
Teams of writers, we don't get paid very much. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, actually, I saw in chat just then, Jacksepticeye had the same issue as well. Like, burnout is absolutely a thing.
Yep.
It's a thing in streaming as well.
That's it. In that case, I'll ask, do you have a particular way of managing burnout then? Oh, boy.
Yeah, I have it's a big one, man. I do. Hard drugs. No, that's a lie. That's a joke.
Christ.
No, I figured if I can talk to anyone about that, it's someone from Sydney. So Winwan, Geelong. We're like the fucking ice capital of Australia. No, that's South Australia, actually. I lie.
Yeah, closer to there, yeah.
So, yeah, the fact that it's going to sound really redundant, but it's very true. The way I deal with it is by not dealing with it, because I've got to do it. It's my job. If I don't do it, I don't live. Like, there's no other way to put it, right? Like, you know, do you want to fucking live? Absolutely. Cool. This is your job. Go do it. Do you want to keep the roof over your head? You do? Cool. Go do it. There's no solution for that. This is not a 9 to 5 where you banked up your hours, your time, your accrued leave. You're like, oh, I'm having a really hard go at it. I'm just not going to go today. I'm just going to take a day or apply for some leave, and then I know that my vacation to the Bahamas is on the line. It's just around the corner. I'm so excited I can take the wife and the kids. It'll be great. Not a thing. Not a thing.
Yeah.
As you well know, if you don't do a day of content, that day is lost.
Yeah. You drop off a little bit.
Correct.
Every single time. Yep.
You totally get that. And so for me, It's the same can, but I don't want to. Let me consider my words on this one. Give me a second. I don't want to put my stance over someone else's, but it's different as a signed creator, because as a signed creator, you are working to a contract.
Yep.
And you have to fulfill that contract. If you do not fulfill that contract, then you just don't get paid. You miss out.
Yeah.
So it's a bit different in the sense that there's hours that I need to do. As I said, it's less than 240.
Yep.
Let's just for the sake of argument, this is purely hypothetical. This is not the number, but let's just say it's 200 because it's a nice round figure, right? That's a lot. Let's be real.
Yes, it is a bloody lot.
But let's just say it's that. If I needed to do 200 a month and I take a day off for X, Y, and Z reason because I'm burned out, that's wonderful. But those are still hours that I have to do during the month. There's no such thing as a day off. Even if I take it off, I still need to make it up later. You have no ability to dodge something or forget something. There's no, I'm taking a vacation. It doesn't work like that. You still need to do it later on. So the way, it's really unfortunate, the way I deal with it is I nut up or shut up because I have to do it. Because if I don't do it, I don't keep the roof over my head. And that's the main priority, right? You got to keep the bills paid, lights on.
Oh, yeah.
When I do have the option to, again, let's just say it's 200. We'll stick with this 200 because it's a round figure. Let's say for the month I do 220, 250 hours, something dumb. Let's just say 210.
Yeah.
Right?
Some kind of overtime, yeah.
Yeah, that 10 hours I bank, I accrue it.
Oh.
So, yeah. And now that sounds nice, but it means that I can at some point do 10 less hours in a particular month. But realistically, 10 hours is a day.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, exactly. So, but the thing is, but to get that, I have to hit the target already and then go on top and do on top of. So I really have to exhaust myself, push myself in a month, like really gun it. And then
you can get some leave. Yeah.
Absolutely. You get it. So I did that last year. I stored up an entire month of leave.
Wow.
Which was fucking, yeah. I did a lot. So I really pushed myself. I really, really pushed myself. And I got it. And I had the ability to take a month off. And you know what? I literally only took a week and a bit of it because I didn't know how to not.
Yeah. At a certain point, it's like, this was my life. What am I supposed to do now?
You get it. Absolutely. Yeah, I knew you'd understand. Like, we're in the same area. And you've got to, at some point, you realize that. You're like, what am I going to do? What do? And then I also turned out that month I banked didn't actually roll over to the next year. So I was actually, so January rolled around and I thought I still had hours banked and then I literally didn't stream them. And then February rolled around and my manager's like, hey man, you're in a 60-hour deficit. I'm like, the fuck I am? I had, how many hours saved? And they're like, no, you are 60 hours, in the red. Shit. So I've actually made those 60 hours up between January and where we are now. I've really gunned it.
God, yeah.
To the point, I actually went a little too hard, and I have a 30-hour credit because I went bananas during drops. I was doing 12, 15, 16 hours a day every day. I was doing a lot of hours.
Yeah, comparatively, that's not very much leave at all compared to your standard 9 to 5. That's tiny.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not at all. No, it's so much. It's not. You're right. It's not at all. Yeah, I'm saying it's so many hours. Yeah, you're right. It's not at all.
Yeah, because your standard 9 to 5 gives you at least around 160 hours of leave.
Yeah.
They give you 4 weeks leave, and normally that's more than enough to take a good holiday or two. But
absolutely.
But that's assuming you don't even do overtime for those extra hours. Is the thing.
Exactly. And you actually get paid for those, but I don't how this works.
When you take leave, you get paid for your bloody leave. I was on leave last week because I had a couple of extra hours of leave, and I was like, you know what? I can chain my weekends together and suddenly have 8 days off. You know what? I'll fucking take it.
Yeah, exactly. And you probably you enjoyed. How do you actually manage the burnout? Because you took the time off, so clearly you wanted some time. How do you do it?
Let's say. So, for me, being a dealer is a really fucking stressful job, if you can imagine.
Mate, I feel for you entirely because you are. Sorry to jump in. I feel like you would be super stressed because you are watched constantly.
I have at least 12 surveillance cameras on me at all times.
Jeez. Do you even feel like you can just you know you even feel like you can scratch your ass without like worrying? Like everything is on you at all points.
If you scratch your ass in the high roller rooms, that's actually considered an offense, and you
Shut the
actually
fuck up.
you actually get penalized for that kind of shit. Yes.
How do you? Oh, why am I should be interviewing you. I have so many questions. What do you do? What do you do?
What do you
Just
do?
excuse yourself?
You can't excuse yourself. You just gotta grit with it and bear with it.
Fuck that. You're not getting paid enough for that.
Okay, at the very least, you do get a couple of little benefits here and there when it comes to guest interactions. If they insult you or swear at you, you can get them kicked out.
Oh, that's nice. But so if they're rude to you, you can be like, get the fuck out.
Yeah, pretty much. In high roller rooms, you report it to the host, and the host kind of escorts them out instead.
Okay, so I mean that's nice compared to like regular I'm gonna say like retail or a service role where you just have to grit and deal with the person being scared.
Like,
Has that always been the case, by the way?
Not always been the case. Before, it used to be the guest took priority, so the dealer would be reprimanded instead, but that was like 10, 15 years ago.
Okay, and now at some point they were like, hey, we need our workers to actually feel like they have some degree of
because we
safety or
have
control?
real bad turnover. It's like every 3 people that walk in the door, 1 of them will stay, 2 of them will leave within like the first month.
Wow.
And we lose about half the people during training.
Because what, as in they can't hack it? Or
Either
I shouldn't say can't hack it, but
either they're
you get
too
what I'm driving
shit,
at.
and they can't really hack it. They can't take the stress of the floor, or the job becomes too routine that they want something more exciting.
Because you are really, I mean, in the end of the day, in a nutshell, you are interacting with someone constantly, people all day, every day, and you're really just doing math all day, right? Pretty much.
That's relatively simple math until
It's
you're on the
simple
high
math, of
roller
course.
floors, and then some cunt throws $2,300 on the table, and you need to take 5% off the top of it and pay him the other 95%.
I personally could not do that. Like, I mean, my math is good, but it's slow. My math is fine, but I'm not lickety split. Can't do it in my head.
Oh, it's all mental math too.
Wow. Yeah, I couldn't do that. Personally, couldn't do it. So I would suck at that job. Absolutely. So clearly your math is banging. So
You
that's
take
great.
about 115 off the top and pay out the rest. So that's like 2185, roughly, give or take.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're on that. Yeah, and then but wow, I like that you said give or take, and I'm sure that kind of money, it's not give or take. Like you need to be exact.
Oh, yeah, because if you fuck up on the high roller floor, your table tells you off.
That's stressful. That's super stressful. So
Oh,
what?
so not the people, the table itself. We have smart tables up there. So
What?
they can tell when you
wait.
fuck up.
Wait. I am the man sitting on a stack of chips here. Okay, so let's just hold the fucking wait. The table? What is this, like Knight Rider, but it's a fucking table? Tell me. What do you mean?
Okay. So how smart tables work is they take multiple photos of the betting states, basically. Okay. So when the game is first dealt, it'll take a photo and count the number of chips on there. It'll then wait until you finalize the round and the results. And then we'll calculate the difference that needs to be made. So how much you're supposed to pay out, how much you're supposed to take. And then if there is...
tell you?
No.
What the... Okay, this is like this fucking tax office, but in table form, right?
Yes.
Like, it knows what you need to do, but it just won't tell you.
Yes,
Cool.
and then it'll give you, when you finish paying out everything and you're about to put the cards away, it'll give you an indicator between a red light, a yellow light, or a green light.
Oh, that's so fucking stressful. That's so like Pavlovian almost. Like look at the light. Look at the light. What light do you get? It is a yellow light. Do you know where you went wrong? That is so fucking stressful. I hate that.
Oh, so what happens is if it instantly green lights, that means, okay, you paid it exact on the dot, no problems whatsoever. Continue on. You are completely released of accountability.
Yeah.
If you get a yellow light, that means the table is thinking.
You don't want the table to think. That's terrifying. You're working with an AI that's like, hold the fucking phone 1 second. I need to look at this.
It's like, hold up. Something might be missing here.
This is Karen. It's like, I want to speak to your manager. And it's gone yellow. And it's paused. That's
The
terrifying.
worst amount of time I've had it thinking for is 30 seconds.
What do? Do you just sit there and sweat?
Yes. furiously.
Perspiration just dripping off you. Oh my god.
It's just like, shit. Okay, where did I fuck up? Where did I fuck? It turns green right at the end of the 30 seconds. Like, oh god, fuck.
Does it? Oh my god, that is stressful as fuck. And obviously everyone's watching you during this.
Yeah. Everyone's watching you. They don't get to see the light because you have a little plastic cover over the light.
Right. So everyone's wondering what you're.
Everyone's wondering why the fuck you've lifted the top of the card bin off, but haven't put the cards in yet.
And you can't tell them the table's thinking.
You can tell them the table's thinking. You can be like, oh, please understand. Smart table, not very smart. Very dumb table. Please understand. It's not your dealer at fault. It's not your dealer at fault. It's the table's fault.
It's the table, I swear. It's technology, man. It's not human error. No. Has the table been wrong?
Many times. Many fucking times.
Oh, no, fuck
These
that.
tables are not
accurate
at all.
I fucking hate that. I'm out. No.
How do I put it? We can, like, depending on the lighting conditions, the cameras might not be able to verify the result properly.
I hate that.
So we then have to have a different supervisor up in the surveillance department look at the damn thing, make sure you paid it out and did the math right, and then give the okay.
No, absolutely not.
So if you get a red light and you were perfect in everything, you can still have that red light and just be like, okay, fuck, supervisor, red light, fuck.
Wow. Absolutely fuck that, because your job is beholden to an AI that might decide to just get it wrong.
Yeah, so High Roller Room, there's a big fuck off window and the sun shines through there.
Oh no.
So the sun gets in the cameras. The cameras do not enjoy the sun.
So people are betting all day, every day.
Yes.
Is that High Roller Room
very active? Full? Yes, constantly full. Right. Bare minimum I've seen is 8 patrons.
Right. Wow. And it's patrons from all around the world, usually businessmen, businesswomen.
All over the world. Yes.
I would assume. No assumption, but I'm curious. I'm assuming it's mainly men.
Nope.
Wow, I assume mainly businessmen.
A lot of Chinese and Vietnamese aunties, yeah.
Wow. Oh, because they've got dollars. That makes sense.
Debatably, but that's a different story.
Right. I'll ping you that one later. I need to know. This is fascinating. I've got questions as well. Also, I have to move away from the idea of your job being beholden to an AI that is monitoring at all points and can be wrong. That is terrifying. That is a level of anxiety I do not want, and you probably don't either. Like, what do you do? You just deal with it. Like,
I just deal with it. Like, as long as I don't make the mistake of sweeping the cards up first before throwing them out, and then like continuing on acting like nothing went wrong, then I'm fine.
Have you been wrong much?
Let's see. It's about maybe once a month, give or take.
Okay, so it happens, but it's pretty rare.
Yeah, it happens, but it's pretty rare, and it's usually me fucking up with my chip work and not my maths.
Okay, and so do you get a amount of, like, I don't want to use the word strikes per se, but
we have a warning system. We have like verbal warning, written warning, blah blah blah, that kind of stuff, and eventually it gets to the tier of termination.
Okay.
The worst I've had is fucking up on like a $21,000 difference, and then yeah.
Right, but I'm assuming the casino would just correct that though.
Yeah. Like, it didn't affect any of the patrons. It just affected some of our bookkeeping. That was it.
Oh, right. And that
nonetheless, I got called in for like a 2-hour formal meeting, and yeah.
What for that?
Yeah.
Oh man.
And they gave me a slap on the wrist on the end of it, and I was just like, okay, we're gonna like put a little bit in your record, but we know you didn't intentionally fuck up, so it's okay.
Wow. That is a level of stress that you do not need.
Oh yeah. Generally speaking, anytime you make a mistake, make sure that you're not the only person held accountable.
Right, and if there's more than one person accountable, it's viewed better. Like
it's better off because you're not allowed to, as a dealer, you're not allowed to fix your own mistakes by yourself. You need the supervisor there watching over you as you fix the mistake.
Okay, that tracks absolutely.
The supervisor will usually call surveillance, make sure that you're fixing it the correct way, blah blah blah, following procedure.
Is there career progression for you, like in terms of like you can work up to be a supervisor?
Yeah. So career progression's pretty funky as a dealer.
Yeah, I'm fascinated.
The number of games you have is actually considered how much you get paid, pretty much. So, for instance, if you're fresh out of dealing school and still on probation, you earn in the ballpark of about $25 an hour, give or take.
Okay. Okay.
And you only have one game you can deal, so you're limited use to the company. They know they can roster you on for that one game, and that's about it. Two games.
So how long does the game go for? Sorry.
Let's see. What was that?
How long does the game go for, roughly? You said one game. Do you mean like, and then like it's physically like one shift, or it's like only like
one game you have knowledge of?
Okay, gotcha. Okay, that makes more sense then. And do
you
get to choose that game?
No, first game you don't get to choose.
What is it?
First game is assigned based on the company's needs. So for my training school, we had people doing Baccarat, so I got thrown in the Baccarat camp. And then we had the other side of people doing roulette. Roulette's math is far worse.
You have to, it's no probability, right? So.
Oh, no. The paying out odds is the part that you have to understand.
Oh, yeah, fuck that. How?
So imagine someone puts $5 on the table and you're suddenly told, okay, pay 35 to 1.
I could not do that instantly.
You learn various methods on how to do it. 35 to 1
yeah.
on $5 is roughly, let's say you take 25 off the top, about 175, give or take.
Wow.
Yeah, you learn a lot of funky methods to pull this shit off, basically. But career progression is they'll open up training schools for various games. You try to sign up for those training schools. If you get into those training schools, good. You can try. They'll pay you for training and all that shit, basically.
Wow.
And you'll work your way up till you have to do a major exam. And then you pass that exam, good, you're promoted. You get extra money. It's like an extra $4 an hour almost every extra game you grab.
And then, so when you say game you grab, you mean it as in like terms of games, as in like Baccarat, roulette, poker, blackjack, etc., etc.
Major games, yeah.
So have you got them all under your belt now?
No, I'm not. I'm nowhere near that veterancy. God, no.
Wow. Because you speak so confidently on it. I just know a lot of procedure. That's it. So to be at the high roller table, do you need to be at a certain level?
Oh, you need to have at least had 6 months experience plus an extra training course.
Wow. Okay.
And that's only for one extra level of high roller. Then you need a second training course if you want to go higher than that, and a third training course if you want to go even higher than that.
What's higher than that?
The VVIP rooms. So
that's the one where they have the gold plaque and whatnot.
That's the 600k limits, yes.
That's insane.
Hydrate, yeah. 1 sec. So anyway.
Yeah, I'll join on that one actually. I have questions though. I've always wanted to know, in the high roller rooms, are drinks free? I'm assuming they're complimentary, one would assume.
100%.
Yeah.
So we had free drinks for the longest time. Unfortunately, thanks to regulations, we had to change it to free drinks so long as they're not alcoholic.
Okay, I mean that's still fun.
But people play enough that they earn enough points that they can eventually just buy the alcoholic beverages sheerly off membership points anyway.
Wow. That's wow. Oh, sorry. Am I allowed to read chat in the process?
Oh yeah, 100%. Go for it.
Because I'm assuming you are too. Mark was. I thought I was good at math, having my engineering degree. I couldn't imagine running math in my head like this, especially with the pressure. Yeah, I am in the same camp. I could not do that.
Yeah.
You could give yourself more credit, man. Like you got balls of steel. That is a difficult job.
Like if there's you'd imagine maybe doing that math like one bet, but realistically, there's not only going to be a single bet on the table.
There's no. You're doing it for everyone. And not only that, were you hear Mark when he was talking about the AI table? The table that is judging you, watching you at all points? Oh,
takes photos, confirms the result. Yes.
And is frequently wrong.
Yes,
I may add.
Very frequently wrong.
That is the kicker for me.
I think the record for most number of red lights within a single swing, so within a 1 hour period, was about 50 of them.
What do you do at that point?
What do you do at that point? You have a supervisor watching over you. You have the maintenance technician watching over you as well. And you have a constant line to surveillance to confirm everything is correct.
Oh my god. Oh. And the players are just minor inconvenience, and they just have more alcohol.
Yeah, pretty much. The players just keep playing because they're like, oh no, keep going. And
they're fine with it, yeah.
And I'm just like,
wow.
I'm just like, soup. Please stay.
Oh my god, I've always wanted to know because I see them like fucking poker tables, like in the tournaments and blackjack tables. I've always wanted to know, and now I know. And it is like it's nice that you've pull the curtain back.
Yeah.
But it is that knowing what's behind the curtain really is far more stressful.
Oh, funny enough, poker is like our least profitable game by far.
How does that work? Is it because it's got the best odds of? Actually, that'd be blackjack, wouldn't it? I suppose of winning. It's blackjack.
Kind of. So let me put this in simple game terms. Almost every other game at the casino is PvE. So you'd be playing against the casino.
Yep.
So Baccarat, for example, you bet $100, you win, you get $100 from the casino.
Yep.
Poker is the only game that is PvP.
Yeah, you're playing against the table, yeah.
You're playing against the table. So at most, we take a rake from the bet. So we take like 5-10% of the total pot for that round, and that's it. So it is very possible for us to open a poker table and actually go into the red because we opened a poker table.
Huh. Okay. Wow. Wow.
Because Because imagine you have to pay that dealer, maybe if they're a very experienced dealer and all that, $40 an hour, for example.
Yeah.
If that table doesn't make $40, if that dealer
now,
doesn't grab $40 an hour from that table, they're going into the red.
Oh.
Because that also means, on top of that, it's not just the dealer's wages, it's the cost of opening and running that table, plus any other management costs that need to be taken into account, security, electricity, etc.
All of that, yeah. Can you? So the potential for poker can actually be okay, provided like there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Realistically,
so
you don't really want to be shifted on poker. You don't really want to be on poker.
If you're on poker, you can go home early most of the time.
Wow. Okay. Jesus.
But it's a wage job, not a salary job. So you go home early, you don't get paid anyway.
Correct.
So what they do is they normally grab the spare poker dealers and send them to different departments.
Wow. I am learning so much. This is actually fucking fascinating. And you said you do have the opportunity to move up to a supervisor. And I'm assuming what's that like? Is supervisor the same term as like a pit boss in the US or something?
Oh, pit boss is different. Pit boss is like an assistant general manager for us.
Okay, so
that's one rank higher than a supervisor.
Okay, so you can move up to that.
Yeah,
I'm assuming supervisors and pit bosses, they know the games intimately, but then they no longer deal or play.
Let's say supervisor still has the potential to deal the game.
Yep. Do they often or not really?
Depends on the type of supervisor you are.
Okay.
So we have multiple ranks to climb up. So the first one is GLDP 1, which is simply, let's see, I think it was like gaming lead dealer position or something like that. Anyway, pretty much that is your cross between a dealer and a supervisor. So half your shifts will be dealing, the other half will be supervising. When you're supervising, you're paid closer to the equivalent of earning 80k a year on salary anyway.
Okay.
When you're being a dealer, you get paid the amount based on your games. So it's a fair kind of system.
Okay.
When you're, let's see, after that, there's full-time supervisor. So you no longer deal, you only supervise.
Okay.
You may have to deal in like emergency scenarios. So if a dealer is desperately busting to use the washroom, you might suddenly need to step onto the table, take your coat off, put on your badge, and just be like, all right, sure. Any more bets, etc.
You don't have to, everyone's fine with that. Okay.
Yeah. And then once you get to pit boss, which is pretty much just AGM, sometimes we have the cross between AGM and supervisor, which is just GLDP 2 instead. I've got a couple of my trainers recently went up to that kind of rank, so they went from training school supervisors to managers, pretty much.
Okay. Yeah.
Real fun knowing those ones. You see them come around and it's like, hey, that's you.
Yeah, you know them. You're like, hey, buddy, how you doing? Yeah, wow, that's fucking cool. This is a wealth of knowledge I have just always wanted to know, truly, because it's like I knew it was a well-oiled machine. Like everyone knows casinos are well-oiled machines. Everyone knows this, but to hear the level that it's at, it's just beyond me.
And then all assistant general managers are basically fighting for the position of general manager.
Right, and there's only obviously just the one GM. And the GM oversees
we have
everything.
3 of them, I think it is.
Okay, and they oversee the show.
Actually, no, we only have 2 of them. Yeah.
Have you ever seen a GM have to step in to deal? Is that a thing?
No, never. I saw the GM yesterday. I said hello to her, and I was like, yeah, sorry, this is a really busy table.
Wow. That's it. Yeah, you don't really get to have an interaction with them. So they know who you are, but not really.
The GM knows who I am because I'm the loudest one in the pit, usually.
That's a good thing though, right? You want to be known? Surely that's a good thing, right?
Yeah, it's better to be known. It's better to be known. If you put your head down and be unknown as a dealer, you're basically never going to move anywhere.
Wow.
Like it's a very dead end kind of job. Mainly just in the fact of like, if you don't try, you're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah, well, arguable that's for anything really, but you did say there was a high turnover rate, and it's obviously that makes sense because it's super stressful. Can I ask roughly what the average, if you have any idea, what is roughly the average age of your fellow dealers? Not yourself, but the fellow dealers.
Let's see. If I'm going as far as, oh, that's actually pretty hard, actually.
Because my head tells me that they would either be really young people who've just gone in who excel at like quick math and want to try and give it a crack. But I reckon the people that stay on because of the high turnover rate, they're most likely in their late 20s, early 30s or above.
Youngest I've seen is 18. Oldest I've seen is
the fuck up.
65.
Shut up. What? Okay, did that 18-year-old get chewed up and spat out?
He quit after the first 2 weeks, yeah.
Doesn't surprise me. Absolutely.
It was one of our best, though, when it came to dealing the game and customer interaction. It was just not his kind of job, though, so he was like... He was like a sick cunt from out in the West, so yeah.
Oh, right, yeah, okay, enough said. Yeah, you've nailed it with that sentence. What makes a good dealer and a bad dealer? Could you go to a dealer and be like, I know that you're a good one? Actually, no, fuck that. Better question. Have you gone to casinos in future, not necessarily your casinos, I don't know if you gamble, but have you gone to them and just to see what other dealers are like, to see how they interact?
Nah. Within the grounds of Australia, if I were to go anywhere, I'd be dragged outside because that's just part of my licensing.
What? Wait, so you can't...
I'm not allowed to gamble.
Because you're a dealer, you can't gamble?
Specifically, anyone on a castle is not allowed to gamble, so casino special employee license, basically.
Why? I'm curious.
It's the quickest way of getting addicted.
Wait, because you know the game?
Because you know the game, you assume you know how to play the game, and you have an edge over it, so you assume that you can use that edge to your advantage, but you don't, because...
Yeah.
Because you can't overcome the edge.
Because you can't overcome the edge, because math, because you can't, because the house literally always wins.
Baccarat has a 1% casino edge. However, there are some side bets on Baccarat which go as high as a 60% casino edge.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's wild.
Wow. Okay. And so because of that, you aren't allowed, because they think, so it's sort of to protect you, but really it just sounds...
It's protection.
It's not how it sounds. That's how it's worded, but that's not how it comes across. It comes across as like, you might have an advantage. We can't let you have that, but we're going to word it as protection.
It's more so protection. I've seen a couple of guys which get addicted to different forms of gambling because they're not allowed to play table games.
Wow.
So, for instance, I've seen supervisors getting addicted to sports betting. Every time I'm in the locker room and changing into uniform, you hear someone talking about sports betting.
And that's because you can't do casino betting. So you are not allowed in any way, shape, or form to go to any casino in Australia once you have a castle. You can't do it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wait. Do they... Because how transparent is this castle thing? Like, you say you're not allowed to, but like, who's going to know, realistically? If you sat down at the table, who's going to fucking know?
AI face tracking.
Shut up. The table does that too?
No, the surveillance does it.
So if you walked into that casino and you sit down at a table, there's going to be a camera that's going to see your face, and then they're going to do the face tracking, and then what? It's just like CSI. It's going to ping a database. They go, yep, that's him. He deals, and they're going to come and tap you on the shoulder and say, so
pretty much.
Be doing this.
Yep.
Wow.
Like for us, there's a lot of trade of information between the casinos around here, so they know.
That is wow.
As long as you're at least 10 meters away from a casino table, they don't care.
Right. But if you sit down, so you can walk through one, no problem.
You can walk through a casino if you wanted the buffet and all that. Yeah, sure, go for it. But if you were to actually sit down and try your luck at a table game, they will pick you up, give you a stern talking to, and most likely suspend your license, which means you don't have a job anymore.
That is fucking scary. So, wow, also the fact that the AI is so good that there's a database. They just scan your face. They go, cool, that's him.
Like, we have databases for many things. We have stuff like even just patrons that aren't supposed to be there.
Wow.
Anyone on like particular criminal record we need to watch over, blah blah blah.
Does that happen often that someone just gets
Yeah.
tapped on the shoulder and says, "Hey, buddy, we know you can't be here"?
So my live experience with that was just someone came in,
Yep.
slapped down about 20k on my table in cash.
Can I ask what you were dealing?
Baccarat at the time, of
Yep.
course, but yeah.
Yeah.
They slapped down 20k on my table, told me they wanted to change it into chips. I got
Yep.
maybe 3 seconds. Let's see, I got maybe 3 seconds into the process before I got tapped on the shoulder and told, no, don't do that, hand the money back.
Wow.
Because I looked in the corner of my eye, I saw not a supervisor, but the general manager running over.
Wow. Okay, so you know at that point it's serious. Yeah.
I was just like, oh, fuck. Oh God. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what have I done? Is the table red? I promise it's not me. Wow. Okay.
Table wasn't red or anything. I was on the main gaming floor. There's no red tables here.
Yeah. True.
Yeah,
And they just tapped on the shoulder. And they're like, "Hey, buddy."
Tapped on the shoulder. Don't do that. Don't do that. And I see a tall ass Russian dude, one of the security guards, and then the other one's just a fucking built brick shit house of an islander. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I'm assuming your security's pretty good. Ever
Yeah,
since the whole. I know security in casinos have massively stepped up ever since the whole Peter Delamascus thing many years ago.
Yeah.
I'm sure they taught you about that. They would have had to.
Yep. And underneath poker tables, by the way, we have a dedicated distress button.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah! And I'm assuming it works. And does it never need to be used?
Let's see. The stories I've heard from poker dealers is mainly just you'll have to hit the button once every like 3 or 4 weeks.
For what though? What constitutes a distress? Is it up to your discretion?
Up to
Like, if you can handle it?
Up to your discretion. Mainly, it's punch-ons.
Wow. So have you had to press it?
Nah, haven't had to do that personally.
Because you
myself.
seem pretty. You seem very personable. Like very like you could probably talk people out of it.
I've had the triad sit down at my table. I have had, let's say, Vietnamese mafia sit down, the actual mafiosos sit down, and Korean gangsters sit down on my table.
Whoa! I'm sitting back on the fucking screen, man.
I think the Italians were the worst.
Wait,
No, the Koreans were the worst. Koreans were the worst.
I am sorry. I need to rewind that. I'm sorry. You've had one more time. You've had the triad sit at your table. You've had the Korean mafia sit at your table. You've had the mafia sit at your table, and you've had just regular associated gangsters sit at your table. Correct?
Yep. Basically, in a nutshell.
And which one was the worst?
The Koreans, by far.
Why?
Really bad mannered.
Oh, I would have assumed they would have been very well mannered.
No. Yeah, they were kind of on the Karen level of things. So
Oh,
I
okay,
dealt out
fair
a result. It was a tie, so I wasn't supposed to pay anyone out. So
Yeah.
I immediately swept the cards up, put them away. I was like, okay, next hand, blah, blah, blah. And they made an absolute fit of it and tried saying, oh, wait. I'm going to call my cousins. I'm going to call my friends.
What? What
I'm gonna get them to check the result. I'm gonna blah blah blah. That was clearly a win. You were meant to pay me out. I'm like, the machine's beeping orange. That's a tie, mate.
Yeah.
The result
says no.
The machine says no. My
do?
scoreboard says no. Surveillance says no.
Like, you must always feel at least comfortable knowing you've got the wealth of surveillance behind
Yeah,
you to back you.
I've got plenty of protection, so to speak.
Yeah, and you
since
can
we're on
press
the
a
front
button.
line anyway. Yeah.
Like, you're always going to be safe, which is nice.
We
And
have, we have like 8 to 10 buttons we need to press depending on the situation.
Fuck. Okay, so you're not just doing math. You're also memorizing the 8 buttons under your table that at any point can do anything.
Those ones are more so on a terminal next to us.
That is so much. I know that I'm getting a crash course in everything right now, but it's just information
Oh,
overload.
it takes about 6 weeks part-time to learn all of this, if not 4 weeks full-time.
Okay, and so you seem pretty very easy. You're obviously very easy to talk to, so I would assume that if there's been any disputes, are you allowed to not necessarily interject, but you can be like, hey guys, come on, what are we doing? We're here to play games, man. We're here to have a good time.
Yeah, you're allowed to mediate to an extent, and if you can't mediate, then you call a supervisor to mediate. And if the supervisor can't mediate, he calls the pit boss.
And they'll obviously always be able to mediate
And
that.
if the pit boss can't mediate it, the pit boss calls security.
yeah, okay. If the people can't sort it out, it's like, get the fuck out. Like, that's Yeah, you're always in the safe. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm so, mate. You are such a stressful fucking job, dude.
That's fine. You get used to it.
Yeah, you're just talking to me before about burnout, and I'm like, yeah, I get used to it because I need to do it. But like you here, I'm preaching to the choir. You know all about that.
Yeah,
like
pretty much.
Do you want to move up in it?
I want to hit supervisor at least, then I can have rosier hours, basically.
Is it when you define rosier?
3 days a week instead of 5 days a week.
Much better. Oh my god. Absolutely.
My schedule's changing slightly, so I'll be on for 4 days a week, just with extended time, so 10-hour shifts instead of 8-hour shifts.
Do you? Okay, wow, okay, fuck that. Do you have? Is there rules like you can't deal to your friends? Like
no conflict of interest. No conflict of interest.
Right. So if we're mates, if I come in, I'm like, hey buddy, how you doing? And you're like, can't serve you. But come on, man. You're like, no, I can't do it. I know you can't do it.
Our definition of mate is someone that you actively talk to at least once a week.
Okay. So really, if I just talk to you every 2 weeks, we're Gucci.
Roughly. Roughly.
All right. I just want to see the wiggle room.
So, as long as 1, they're not living with you. 2, they're not direct family. Or 3, any kind of friend or acquaintance that you meet on a very regular basis.
So if you have a table regular,
then that's perfectly fine. That's just like, that's a guy that just comes in and plays. You don't know them outside the casino. No external affiliation or anything. You're good.
Oh, so as long as the friendship or whatever it is, as long as the relationship
strictly
is built
business.
Strictly business within casino grounds, they're Gucci. All right, fascinating, dude. You need to write a book, man. This is so, or at least, I'm sorry. I know that you probably weren't prepared to answer all this, and I've just fired everything at you. But I'm just fascinated by this, legitimately. So
this is basically my day job, so I am prepared to answer this at the drop of a hat, basically.
Stunning. Okay, so what do you do to deal with burnout? Because you must be stressed.
What do I do with burnout?
Other than hard drugs, obviously. Yeah.
Play a lot of games. That's about
Absolutely,
it.
Me too.
He doesn't do drugs.
Yeah, it's New South Wales. You don't know. You never. I've got to know. You can never tell.
Out in the southwest, there was a pretty big druggy problem, but don't worry about it too much. They were peddling around weed in high schools. That was a real funky time. I think 3 of my friends became the other kind of dealer, but
yeah, that's a shame. Sorry, man.
Yeah, real funky.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me that there's probably a lot of. Yeah, I know you don't do drugs, but it doesn't surprise me that there is a lot of it in the industry. Like people probably use it just to get by. Also, do they like weed and do they drug test and alcohol test you? I'm assuming they would. Maybe?
Let's see, drug test, alcohol test. Nah, not particularly. They do a very extensive criminal background check, though.
Yeah, they'd have to. This is just absolutely mind-boggling. Do you get any special privilege for being there, like working there?
Let's say 2 meals a day.
That's pretty good.
Yep, buffet meals. Lots to choose from.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Casino food's usually pretty good, well, in my experience anyway.
It's all right what they give the staff. It's like 1 level up from cafeteria food.
Okay,
it's just a very big variety. So you have like sandwich bar, salad bar, whatever hot food you want, and then some desserts.
Also, chef work sometimes.
Yeah. Anyway,
I missed that bit from the sideline.
What was that?
He sometimes has a celebrity chef come in.
Oh, yeah. We occasionally have celebrity chefs come in. If you ever heard of a cunt named, let's say, Luke Nguyen? Yeah.
Yes.
I met the cunt. Really. If you've ever seen the guy on TV before, no, he does not look like that anymore.
I actually have, and I'm genuinely... You beat me to it. That was my next question. Not the case anymore.
Okay. So, on TV, he looks like slim Asian Vietnamese dude and all that.
Yes, he does.
And
all angles?
COVID was
not kind to him.
Not kind.
Look, I don't trust a skinny chef, man. So
chomped out really hard.
Absolute. I'm sure a lot of us did, but yeah, I don't trust a skinny chef.
It was an absolute unit to the point where when he handed me a bowl of pho, a little bowl of pho, I was like, thanks. I just moved on with my day.
Wow.
Because I didn't even recognize him at the time. And then later in like the community forums and all that, there's a photo posted and it's like, that was him?
No. Oh, what did you, obviously, did you feel bad? You're like, what? Oh shit, I didn't know. I didn't recognize. He's probably,
like, he's a humble dude, but yeah.
And also a good cook, but yeah. Damn. Do you, if you do, question, do you speak any other languages?
Vietnamese. Not very good at it. I think my Japanese is better at this point, which is kind of depressing, but yeah.
if you can speak other languages, are you allowed to do so at the table?
Translation purposes only.
Okay, so for only translate, you can't be having conversations with them in
You
know.
can and all that. That's still allowed. It's just that you're not allowed to deal your game in any other language but English.
Understood. Okay.
Unless you're in very special rooms. Those special rooms allow you to do like Mandarin or Cantonese.
Whoa, as in this is like when you say special room, is it like the exclusive high roller? This is the one where
Exclusive
you can head under the
salons,
table. That's a joke,
basically.
of course, but you get me. Wow. Okay. It's done.
Like, when you get to that tier, the patrons are allowed to request dealers that speak specific languages.
And it's just essentially them in a room with the dealer?
Yeah, pretty much. Let's see, the example that I can pull up, which is really funny, by the way.
Okay.
Do you remember a man by the name Tiger Woods?
Oh, it rings a bell. I think he played something with a club. Yeah. Something grass.
Yeah, got involved in some kind of scandal and all that.
Something like that. Yeah, I think he liked things. You think?
Yeah.
I can't remember. Yeah.
So the exact description that we were told before. So we got dragged into, as part of our training, we got given a tour of the entire facility and all that, and it's fucking massive.
Yeah.
There's like, I don't know, 15 floors or something on the elevator, and you just need to know which floor you're supposed to be on. But yeah, we got taken to the exact hotel room the cunt stayed in.
Wow.
And we were told his exact specifications.
Okay.
So you wanted to be alone in the room, apart from having the one dealer.
Naturally.
The dealer needed to be white, with blonde hair,
very specific. Yep.
and a chick.
So his specific tastes. Understood. Yep.
Yes,
In that
it's a
room.
very specific taste. And this was
Very
only a
specific.
couple of months before a certain scandal.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Wow. All right. Yes. He had his. So they just do it in the room. Then okay. Wow. Mind blown. Okay. Great. Continue.
No, we weren't part of that scandal whatsoever.
True,
Other
true.
funky ones we've had is like, I think it was Prince coming in at one point.
Surely he'd be lovely. Please tell me.
A couple of weeks before he died.
Oh. Oh no.
Our orientation guy gave him like the best treatment and all that. The guy was bloody pleasant and all that. It's just that a couple of weeks later he kicked the bucket.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
fucking horrible. Yeah. Wow. Doesn't surprise me with Woods though. Had a specific type that he liked. Wow.
Yeah, and
Look,
that was
also-
the exact type he described and wanted dealing his games.
Yep. You look, you hear stories like that. Once you get to that level, anything goes, and turns
Yeah.
out that's sort of the case.
Yeah,
Wow.
it pretty much is the case. It's like, in Prince's case, it was like, let's see, hotel manager was suddenly called up and told, yeah, we need the penthouse.
Yeah.
And we need the penthouse with all of this stuff ready, blah, blah, blah. They didn't even say who the guest was. They just knew that they needed to do it. And the hotel manager was a massive fan of Prince. So
Yeah.
when he eventually came up, opened the door to hand over some wine, gets greeted by Prince, he tried not to freak out.
Yeah, I would too. Absolutely. You would freak the fuck out. I would too. That is so fucking cool. Oh my God. You really, the story. How long have you been doing this now? Only a few years actually, right? Because COVID.
A year and a half,
And-
give or take.
Yeah. And you've already, wow, you've already nailed this down.
And if you do it full time and like 5 days a week, you get good at it.
Absolutely. You've absolutely got this down. You said before to deal with your burnout, you play games.
Yeah, I just play a lot of games.
What's your main poison?
What's my main poison? Currently, Path of Exile. Terrible idea.
Oh, okay. All right. I want to let everyone know, by the way, who is listening, there was a very nice set of questions, and we've fucked them out the window because I am fascinated. So here we are. What's your take on Diablo 4?
What's my take on Diablo 4? It's...
Be real with me. It's okay. I'm not going to get insulted. It's all right.
Look,
It's just a game.
look, when I'm a guy that plays something like Path of Exile, I look at Diablo 4, I'm like, this is too basic. What
Okay,
the
I
fuck?
thought you'd say that. Yeah. A lot of people saw the skill trees and they're very happy with the change. But yeah, it looks good. It's very pretty, but I think they got a long way to go to complete the Part of
Yeah.
Exile.
Yeah, like Path of Exile, there's Path of Exile 2 coming around soon, and that's just going to hit really hard at that
But
point.
is that
so-
really a 2, or is that more like an Overwatch 2?
One-
where it's
1.5,
essentially-
1.5. But the
Okay,
way they're doing
okay.
it is the entire base game experience is just going to change. So,
Okay.
end game, probably not going to get touched that much. Base game, yeah. Overhaul.
I wanted to know, because I've played a bit of Path of Exile, not a ton. I'm not like running around, getting my, first demi or whatever, but I know enough of the game to
Yeah,
understand.
fair enough.
And Path of Exile's probably as good as ARPGs are going to get, at least to me.
Mhm.
It's pretty good. It ticks the boxes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the people from Grinding Gear worked on Diablo 2 and then didn't want to work on 3. Not all
Along
of
those
it.
lines, yeah.
Some of them. I heard that was the story. I believe that to be the case. Maybe it was Torchlight they came from.
Might have been Torchlight.
Yeah, I think it was Torchlight 2, actually, I think they came from. I do know that people that went from Diablo 2, when Diablo 3 was coming out, they actually went to make, it was Torchlight. They went to go make Torchlight. And Torchlight was great. Torchlight 3, not so
Yeah.
great, but 1 and 2.
One and two, I bloody love those games. Played them
Great.
growing up.
Me too. Played
Yeah.
the fuck out of 2. 3 is in not a...
It's a mobile game.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
on
Thank
that
you.
kind of level
Thank
of
you.
Diablo Immortal.
I've been saying the same thing, and people are like, no, it's not. I'm like, yes, it is. It absolutely is. I like 4. I'm going to be playing Diablo 4. I will play the fuck out of it. I think the game looks beautiful. I think that they've gone back to their darker, grittier everything, which is what Diablo... I'm assuming you played too, right? Surely you did.
Yeah. I played some of it too. Labyrinthian. Real funky.
And that worked for me, so that's absolutely my jam. I will play 4, but it's nice to know that Path of Exile is where... Because I did look at your VODs, obviously, beforehand as well. I saw a lot of Path of Exile, and I was wondering if there's anything else other than that. So just primarily Path of Exile?
Let's say so. Recently, Path of Exile, because the new league came out and everything reset and whatnot.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I'm mainly just stompy robots. A lot of MechWarrior, Online, etc., etc.
Oh man, I've always wanted to play those, but I've always found the idea and the prospect, because I know the community is very passionate about it. I
Yep.
found it very not intimidating per se, but just
The
it's just
onboarding's
all-
hard, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, you got it. The onboard. Yeah, you get it. You totally get it. And it just terrifies me because I'm like, I don't think I can do that because there's so much.
Main thing is,
Yeah.
if you're a fan of stompy robots, there's usually something in that universe for you. Usually.
I do like Stompy
So
Robots.
as long as you've got someone to guide you through things, then yeah, you can get up to scratch pretty quickly.
Okay, I might annoy you about that because I am curious. I do like Stompy Robots. If you're willing to teach, I'm willing to annoy you about that.
Yeah, sure. Because like whereas a lot of games, there's like a low skill floor, high skill ceiling kind of affair. Stompy robots, at least MechWarrior, that stuff is high skill floor, very low skill ceiling. There's actually a point where everyone's roughly on the same skill level, and there are certain expectations you can have of other players at a certain tier. And it's
I
just
like that.
it's
I
like
like that
yeah.
actually.
So
'Cause you know where you stand.
You know where you stand. You know if you fuck up in this specific way, it's entirely your fault.
Yeah.
And if you didn't use this, or if you made any adjustments to your build, you better make damn sure, well, it was worth making those adjustments.
Yeah. No, I like that. Absolutely. You don't have to worry about. I can put it in hunt terms, but you don't have to worry about some sweat lord. You understand everyone's role and what you can and can't do. I like that.
yeah,
I like
yeah.
knowing that.
For a hunt, I would put it as the difference between someone that's in tier 2 and tier 4 is not the highest.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then tier 5 is when you suddenly run into sweat lords. That's where I would place hunt, at least.
Okay. That makes more sense to me. Yeah, well, in hunt, yeah, absolutely, I agree with that.
Yeah.
You get, absolutely. As someone who was in that tier 5, tier 6 bracket, I understand you get sweat lords. Although once you're in it long enough, that you don't consider them sweat lords. That's just the meta.
It's the game. I've seen a mate being up there for a long time. I watch him casually snipe someone with a Mosin across the map without a scope, and I'm just like, okay, that happens up there, I guess.
It does, yeah. Sometimes maybe your friend's a little too good. I don't know, but yeah, it happens.
A bit too crack a shot, I'd say.
Yeah, totally happens. Absolutely.
Probably the best FPS player I know, which is saying quite a lot. But
yeah. Okay. No. Absolutely. Yeah. In that case, if you're really good at that rank with Hunt, it becomes a game of knowing what pixel doesn't belong there.
Because that man was just a hardcore Tarkov player for the longest
time.
time.
Oh yeah, if you're good at shooters, absolutely Hunt's your jam.
Yeah, because he went from Counter-Strike, Tarkov, and then Hunt.
And now he's settled on Hunt.
Settled on Hunt for now. I think he's gone back to Tarkov here and there.
Tarkov will do. Are you a shooter kind of guy?
Let's see. I like my shooters. I'm pretty terrible at them, honestly.
Okay, so Hunt's not your jam.
Oh no, I enjoy Hunt. I actually enjoy Hunt quite a lot.
Yeah, I've seen you in a few times actually. Yeah, you've come by.
Played Hunt a couple of times just as a. Let's see. I like the entire faming of it and all that. It's really nice to just play through, run through, kill a couple of hunters, hopefully extract, blah blah blah. Fun stuff to do. It's just that when you get to the higher tier stuff, then it's just like, okay, yeah, people abusing long ammo against people abusing long ammo. No more build variety.
Yeah.
Fun times.
That's just Hunt in a nutshell. Long ammo meta. Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know how you play any shooter game with the mouse you have.
Oh, yeah, so the thing is, I don't use a particularly conventional mouse. I use a vertical mouse.
No, that's not the issue of it. It is a fucking iron.
It's an iron?
Just one point. Give me a second here.
Sure.
Give me a second
Go for
here. In a nutshell, this thing looks kind of like a clothing iron.
Okay.
To play a shooter game, if I want to aim to the... Let's see, it's an Evolent something. Give me a sec. I'll just bring it up on stream. Perfectly easy.
It's so old. I don't know how he's using it right now.
Yeah, one sec. Let's see.
I can
rotate that.
I can join in on the chat on this.
I love seeing myself light up on the stack of chips. Thank you. That's so good. This little space chicken just lighting up. It's fucking cute.
That is a really cute chicken.
Thank you.
All right, let's see. Yep, this will do it. All right, here's your perspective, IRL for a second. If I duck my head out of the way, yes, this is my mouse for shooters.
It's an iron.
Yes, it is literally a clothing iron.
It's an iron.
If I want to aim to the left, I have to do a forehand. If I want to aim to the right, I have to backhand.
It's an iron. Don't get me wrong. It's very ergonomic, but it's also an iron.
Yes, it's a goddamn iron. Apparently, this thing costs like $200 or something.
Was this just for ergonomic reasons? It's like an anti-carpal tunnel?
No.
I was handed it as business surplus at one point.
Right.
To put in perspective, he's not the one who cares about ergonomics as much.
Oh, yeah, the one next to me, the freelancer next to me, yeah, she's the one that cares about the ergonomics.
That would make sense. If you're doing artwork, yeah, you're going to care about that 1,000%.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
I cannot play with that.
Sometimes you'll see the microphone go up.
Oh, yeah, so she also bothers with like a standing desk, one of those adjustable ones.
I hear they're really good for you, though.
They are.
I used to use one at my previous job. My previous job was a government job, and I had a standing desk, and that was fantastic.
But yeah, in a nutshell, sometimes my microphone may suddenly move upwards or suddenly move downwards. That is because my boom arm is attached to her bloody table.
Just try to talk. You're like, oh, thanks for taking this with me. I didn't need that. Also, yeah, I agree with chat. That part of your mouse pad has never been more wrinkle-free because of your iron.
Yes, indeed.
It's fantastic. Thanks for showing me.
Yep, real funky stuff. But yes, I like my shooters. I'm not particularly great at them, at least not anymore. I used to be half decent at Counter-Strike. Hence why, yeah, having the name Eco around before. But yeah.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to know. That all tracks now. Yeah, Eco round. Absolutely.
Yeah. And then it just became Ecoist because Eco round was taken.
Yeah, I get it. Fuck yeah, dude. I like that.
Yes.
Are you aiming for the whole partnership on Twitch?
Let's say partnership on Twitch. I'd probably put that like 4 years away, honestly.
Is it something you're after?
I wouldn't mind taking it. If I take it, then I can cut down my job hours.
Oh, well, that's a discussion I can help you with on that one. You say that.
I can cut down my dealing job hours.
Yeah, you put way more time into Twitch. Yeah, true. You'll put way more time into Twitch. Because it doesn't, and just being partner doesn't really... I think it was one of the things you wanted to bring on.
Yeah, may as well ask it. Yeah, so...
I know we're jumping ahead, but sorry.
No, that's fine. I jump backwards and forwards plenty of times with these kinds of stuff, but yeah. So realistically speaking here, so with all of the cuts to like pay cut and all that, what are the perks of being partner these days?
Okay, so I'm probably going to... This is not something that I would put on Twitter. I generally don't give my take on things very deliberately.
Fair enough.
But I'm going to here because, it's an interview. What the fuck else am I going to do? Okay, so that whole thing with the revenue change has been really blown out of proportion, and because a lot of people don't read the fine print, a lot of people don't read their contracts, and it really bothers me. So partners get the same split So as an affiliate, your revenue split is 50-50-50 across
Yeah.
the board. Partners get the same thing. Your revenue split is also 50-50-50. But then you can get 50-60-70. Partners get 56. Your revenue split is the same originally, but then after a period of time, it becomes 50-60-70. Partners will get 50% on tier 1, 60% on tier 2, 70% tier 3s. You have the ability as a partner to, a lot of people you've heard the talk about, why can't we have 70-30? Why does Twitch take 50% of my revenue? In all partner contracts, and I think people just haven't fucking read their contracts clearly. In all partner contracts, it states that you have the ability to earn a higher percentage at a certain point. It's always been there since the contract existed, and people just skipped over that, I guess, or didn't read it. So once you got it, the way it used to be, this is not the way it's done anymore, I can only talk for myself, is that once you got a certain amount of subscriptions, you had to hold a certain amount of subscribers over a certain amount of time. Now, again, these numbers have changed, so I don't mind revealing them, but it used to be you had to have 500 subscriptions organically over a 3-month period. And organic subscriptions refer to not gifted and not Prime subs.
Okay.
So it has to be 500 actual recurring paying subscribers of any tier for 3 months. You had to hold that. Once you got that, you were eligible for an upgrade, and your contract could go to you've definitely heard of the 70-30 split. I'm sure you've heard of that.
Yep.
So, or you get 70% on all your tier 1, 2s, and 3s. It's 70 across the board. So that's fantastic. When Twitch now have done this massive change, which is the one you're obviously talking about, a lot of people are really missing the point. What they said was, they didn't say they're removing it. They said they're removing it on the payment of 70-30. If you are on a contract that has 70-30, once you earn over $100,000 of subscription revenue, it will default to 50-50. And everyone's losing their fucking minds. But the point they keep fucking missing on that is it's $100,000 of subscription revenue. Twitch are very literal here. That doesn't mean bits. That doesn't mean anything else. Doesn't mean donuts. It means subscription revenue. Now, if you're earning $100,000 in subscription revenue, that's still a lot of money. That is a considerable chunk of change. And at that point, yes, your subscription revenue is going to get cut. Absolutely. But again, it's subscription revenue. And the purpose of that, the problem with it is the people are losing their minds. Look, you're cutting my money. Yeah, but again, it's only subscriptions. And 2, one, your income stream should be diversified.
100%.
Absolutely. And a lot of streamers aren't. They have one single revenue stream, and as a result, they're very dependent on that, and that's why they're so pissed. And they're also so pissed, and they're not reading. They're like, oh, it affects me so badly. No, it doesn't. You're not earning $100,000 subscription revenue. You know it, and I know it. You're not. You're earning over $100,000 across the year. Fantastic. But not solely in subscriptions. It's not no, it's not per month. It's you're not earning, exactly. You're not. No way. You're just not doing it. You're just not. And no one, very, very few people. So this change, by the way, that is being brought in is going to affect actually very, very few people. It's going to affect the top 1%.
Oh, not even actually 1%. Less
not even
than
that. Not even that. Less than that. Yeah, it's going to affect the top 0.00, like your XQCs, right? Your shrouds. Your Ninja, we can say as well, I suppose. Still, your Asmon Golds. It's going to affect them, who are absolutely bringing that in subscription revenue. It's not going to affect your average streamer, but it's a headline that's salacious, and people just click on it and they go, if I don't have it, people don't read the fine print.
So aside from that, though, what are the rest of the benefits though that you get?
Sorry, I went on that big tangent. I had to talk about that. Apologies. Other benefits? There isn't any really, other than squad streaming.
Okay.
And you get guaranteed transcodes, which for those who don't know, that's just when you click on a video, it has quality. Wiko knows this, but for those who don't know, you have quality. You have from 360, 480, 720, 1080p, and so on.
Yep.
Your ability to stream in that particular quality is allocated to you by a transcode that Twitch gives you. As an affiliate, you don't have those, so guaranteed anyway. So you get given the quality of the stream that Twitch just says you get. That's it. That's what you get. 480, cool. That's what you get. You can affiliates can get transcodes, absolutely. In fact, I'm pretty sure if I was to click you right now, you've got one. Let's have a look.
Yeah,
You do.
You get them like
you have it active right now.
You get them like 50% of the time, give or take.
Absolutely.
If not,
Yeah.
then it'll just give you source and source only.
Absolutely, yeah. You've got that right now. You've got yours active, and it depends. It's based on it's like not necessarily a need to know basis, but on if there's people that require it, and there's it gets allocated to partners first, it's guaranteed, and then it trickles down essentially.
Okay.
So because there's no one streaming in this particular category at this particular time, it's you. Easy peasy. Problem solved. You get it. So outside of transcodes, outside of squad streaming, and outside of the ability to earn a higher revenue split, which again was completely oversaturated. Like people just didn't get it.
Yep.
There isn't any. Oh, and emote slots. Sorry, you get more emote slots, which are absolutely fantastic.
Yep.
That is great. That's a fucking great thing. Love that.
Yeah,
that
I
is,
saw
that
the
is,
sheer number of chickens received from subbing to you. I was like, yep, good stuff.
correct. Yeah, 50 chickens now. Yeah, that is, and that's not even. I haven't even maxed it out. I have 10 more slots available.
Oh god, okay.
But it's. I can touch on that because it's still part of the benefit. It's part of the process. Yeah, there's not many benefits left. Really, the biggest one, truly the biggest one, is emote slots. That's the biggest one.
Okay, because
That is the biggest
for
one.
affiliates, once we hit like I think it's like 10 of them roughly, we can't earn anymore. Pretty much.
Yeah, 10 emote slots is still fucking good. Back in the day, you got one each. You got one for tier 1s, one for tier 2s, and one for tier 3s. That's what it was originally, and now, yeah, you get 10 emotes. That's fantastic. Oh my god, that's fucking great.
Yeah. I
And-
think it's 10 standard emotes and then 5 follower emotes. I think it was. That's
Okay,
like
yeah,
a total
no.
of 15 almost.
That's
but
pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at the moment, yeah, benefits of partnership aren't much different. The biggest one is emote slots. That is the absolute biggest one, especially if that's something you care about. And I've really built myself on those emotes. That's really what I've
Yep.
put my time and energy into. I have a really good emote. I'm aware of that, and yeah, you can use them anywhere. So why wouldn't you want your emotes to be absolutely fantastic? So I have, and they're really good, and I love that. But I don't have the max amount. Like I said, I touched on before. I'm missing 10 because my emote system is the exact same as yours. You get them unlocked per subs.
Yep.
Like every 100 subs, I think you get another emote slot. I think it starts at 10 and then it moves to 50, and then it's like every 100 sub points, you get another emote slot. And that's how it works until about, I'd say about 8,000 points. And once you get 8,000 points, it's every 200. And then it's every 200. And then you reach 50 emotes. And to go from 50 emotes to 60 emotes, you need 10,000 sub points to unlock 60 emotes.
Damn.
You need 8,000 sub points thereabouts to unlock the 50. So you're missing a gap of about 2,000. But for every other emote prior, it's about 100 points, 200 points. I think it caps at 300. But for that jump from 50 to 60, there isn't that. You don't actually have the ascending points. It just says hit 10,000 and we'll give you the next 10. So that is why if you see a streamer with 60 sub emotes, they've hit that 10,000 at some point. It's such a big thing.
Yeah,
it's
a
a
milestone.
really big thing.
Kind of
Yeah.
fair. Yeah. Yeah,
So-
one fella in chat gone, you can have 10 more chickens.
Yeah, you
Wow.
can. We can. I can have 10 more chickens, but it's probably not going to happen. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. That's the general gist of it. There's not really many benefits. Truly, the badge doesn't really. I mean, badge doesn't really do much. You can. Cool. It makes you stand out. But
Yeah,
it
pretty
makes you
much.
stand out no more than a VIP badge. Or more.
I think at most, I think I've heard someone say like, yeah, they just want the badge so they can show up in someone's chat and watch someone panic.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Can you run that by me? I don't get the panic part.
I'll be honest, I don't get it either. But, that's me. I'm kind of weird at this point when it comes
think
to
so.
that kind of stuff. But
I think you're pretty level. Yeah, I don't get the whole people panicking when they see a partner. Partner doesn't necessarily mean that you've actually got. Oh well, okay. So they've given them back in the day. People used to get partnership just by being affiliated with an esport. That was the thing. Not as much anymore. So it usually means you've got some audience, but 75 concurrent viewers in the scheme of things is not a bunch.
No, it's not very much
It used
at all.
to be when I got partnered, it was 100. You need 150 to get it.
Damn.
They've reduced
They've
that
lowered the
drastically.
requirements, yeah.
Yeah, but then again, it wasn't even actually an official in stone requirement. It was, an email. Yeah,
yeah.
you emailed Twitch, and they either said yay or nay.
There
was no
so it was a
actual
more
button.
manual process. Oh.
Yeah. And now they didn't even give you a check post or a goal. They just said email us.
Just email us. We'll look at your content and we'll determine whether you're worth it or not.
Absolutely. Right. Well, my very first email to them, month 1, was I probably had 15 viewers, and I emailed them and I was like, "Hey man, I'm applying for partnership," because I thought it was like a job interview, right?
Oh yeah.
You apply for partnership, you state why you should get it. Easy peasy.
Yeah. Any old cover letter. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought, and it doesn't work like that. They basically laughed. And was like, no, absolutely not. Get fucked. Second email I sent the second month, they were like, yeah, they gave me the response of you're doing a bit better. And then, keep doing what you're doing. And then the third month, when I sent an email in again, they sent a reply asking for my bank details. And that terrified me.
Shit.
And then I gave them that. And then that was because they wanted to send me the contract, which is we need your bank details and address to send you the contract. So that was it. Yeah. There was no actual path to partner, click a button and can apply. It was, I think I'm good enough, I guess. Am I? And I felt really bad because there's only one guy in all of Australia who was vetting that. There was one dude. Lewis. Fucking love Lewis. Lewis, if you ever listen to this, I love you. You're wonderful. He was the one. There was one partner manager for all of ANZ. You have to understand that is an enormous job.
Yeah, considering that there are a significant amount of content creators in Australia. Correct. For whatever reason. Yep. Yeah.
It was just him. It was him who went through everything, vetted everything, replied to everything. It was him. I don't know how he had time to even for himself, but that was just him. It's not the case anymore. He's moved up and done other things. Now we have a bigger team in Australia. That's what it was.
One man HR department.
Yeah. Absolutely. Fuck that. I don't know how he did it.
Anyway, I've known a couple of companies that have done it that way.
I don't know how. I feel for HR. Like, HR is important.
Like, at one time I interned at a certain furniture company in a certain place, and because I was a random intern, they were like, "Oh, you want to help out the HR guy?" I'm like, HR guy, not department.
HR guy? Singular? It's just singular individual? Yeah.
HR guy was telling her, like, 16-year-old at the time, just being like, "Okay, I need you to check all of these guys' superannuation policies, and I need you to pick one of these 3 people that you think should get fired."
Oh my god, fuck that. This is one HR dude. I love people that say, no, HR will protect me. HR's not there to protect you.
No.
Company.
HR is always in the company's interest.
Always in the company's interest. I'll go to HR, I'll tell them, yeah, okay, what? What? You're gonna what? They're working for the company, man. I think you're forgetting that part. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, it's so good you know that. You've been around. You totally get that.
Yep. Company stuff is real funky in the HR department. Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. Not many benefits, man. Partnership nowadays. It's definitely something to aspire for, but realistically, if you don't really care about emote slots and you don't think the 70-30 split is something that is attainable, then really low key, it's not what it used to be. Absolutely.
And I once knew a guy from NZ which never bothered with even grabbing the affiliate requirements even for a good chunk of I think it was 6 to 8 months, and the guy was blowing up at the time, was like, "I'll sign it some other time. Other time."
Yeah, he's not in the minority. That is absolutely, there's a lot of people that do that. They just can't be bothered, and because what's the point? Yeah, no, he's on the money.
It's more you got to declare on your tax at the end of the year.
That too, yes, that's a big one. Yeah, you absolutely do. If you've made any sort of dollars, yeah, you got to.
Yeah, you got to go over. Yes, you don't want that. You don't want the ATO on you.
No.
Very. Yeah.
ATO, absolutely. So I didn't work at the ATO, but I worked closely with them.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, no, they're on you. Absolutely. They know. So that's why I made that table reference, which I'm glad you laughed at because you got it. Like the table will think, because it knows, the ATO know how much you earn, but they're not going to fucking tell you. You have to figure it out.
Yeah, you gotta.
And then they'll fine you if you don't do it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you submitted your tax return wrong.
Yeah. How is it wrong? We're not going to tell you. Okay. Well, now what? We'll fine you if you don't do it right. But we know. Yeah, absolutely. No, they do know. 1,000% they do.
For me, the most painful part about it is I comb through my shares, and I'm just like, oh, I have to declare all of these, don't I? The franked credits, the unfranked credits.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Actually,
you do.
Yeah, get an accountant, my friend. My God, make it so much easier on yourself if you haven't already.
Went through about 20 or 30 shares and I'm like, okay, these guys only gave me 20 unfranked credits. Okay.
You guys
Okay.
let me get an accountant.
Sorry,
Yes.
I missed that bit.
She wants me to get an accountant between us.
You
Yes.
truly do, especially now. Like, granted, this is not your main gig in terms
Yeah,
of
yeah.
income, but yeah, 1,000%. Especially if you're dealing with shares and stuff. It's yes, it's going to cost you money, but the peace of mind of knowing that everything's hunky dory. Like, you seem pretty capable, so okay, sure,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
do you. But
I'd say the two most important things to have, honestly, in any kind of job is one, someone to keep the books, and two, someone to keep your back. So, translated, that's just have an
that's
accountant,
an accountant.
and have a lawyer.
Yeah, that's an accountant and a lawyer. Get a good one of both, and you're going to be fine. Absolutely. It's also difficult as a content creator to find an accountant who is, speaking of accountants, who knows what to do in terms
Yeah.
of content creation accounting. It's a whole thing. It's
Yeah,
a very it's a very murky water.
It's like, it's equivalent of having like, how does one put it? It's equivalent of doing accounting for any kind of freelance startup industry, only there is actually definitions they need to follow and
Yeah.
go along with. Yes.
Absolutely. Fuck, I like that. Oh, that's so refreshing to hear that. Thank you.
Because
It's so nice
there's-
to actually talk to someone who gets it.
Because beforehand I was like in audio and all that, so in the end I probably would have ended up an audio engineer of some kind if I was to stay into that field. But, you know, radio died, stage shows died, so unfortunate timing. So
Yeah.
here I am dealing cards instead.
But
For
you're
that, they-
excelling at it though.
Yeah. For that, they told us a lot about audio business and all that stuff. Things that you could put on your tax, things that were tax deductible, things that weren't. Little tips and tricks you could use to fuck with the ATO.
You know what? I support it. Go for it. Again, having worked alongside it, go for your life, please. Just
Yeah,
do it.
here's
You're
the
doing
fun
amazing.
one. Here's the fun one. So if you ever go out for a cup of coffee and you want to put it on your tax return for some reason,
We talked about business. Yeah.
buy two.
But too. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Don't tell them that, but it's absolutely correct. Yes, 1,000%. Get the receipt. Save that. That's annoying. Digitally, please do that. You'll save yourself a lot of trouble physically storing that.
Yep.
And yeah, buy two. And then
Yeah.
it's like, I was with a friend. We talked business. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
We
was
talked business. Absolutely. Everything that
so-
you use.
You're absolutely right. Yes, that
Yeah.
is. It's legit. I do that. Yeah, 1,000%.
Yep. When you use something going towards that business, if it's even the cost of running your office, if it's the cost of equipment,
Yeah.
anything at all. As long as you keep the bloody receipt. Yes.
Physical or digital? Yeah, it's both. Absolutely. And that's starting to get. I mean, I'm pivoting here now. I'm into fucking organizational things, but yeah, it gets kind of bonkers. Like Twitch sends you a fucking email receipt for every sub you have, and
Yeah,
that starts getting a little bit out of control eventually because you
Yeah.
have folders full of thousands and thousands, and I would hate to be that auditor because you have to keep them for 5 years, by the way. So that's the thing.
Bookkeeping is misery. Bookkeeping
I know we're
is
getting
misery.
into tax and stuff, which, my God, I'm sorry. I know you probably didn't expect to pivot into tax, but here
Oh,
we
no,
are.
no,
like-
there's literally a question in here that just says difficulties in making streaming a job. That falls
Oh,
under that. Yeah.
I mean, that goes under that, right? Yeah, we're the tax office. Yeah, that goes under that. Yeah, yeah. It is difficult making streaming a job. Oh, absolutely. Number one, diversify your revenue streams. If you have just one revenue stream, you're asking for pain. This is not a normal 9-to-5 job where people will pay you and you have guaranteed absolutely singular insular income. I
Yeah.
have that. I'm very fortunate, but that's not always going to be the case.
You're not going to get a pay slip most of the time. Yeah.
No, that's not how it works. That's not how my contract works. I do have a guaranteed income, which is nice, but that's not how it's always going to be because my contract is a contract. It goes for 2 years, right? You're locked in it for 2 years.
Shit,
I'm
that's
currently-
only 2 years?
It's only 2 years. Every 2 years they renew, but you also got to
Christ.
remember you're stuck in that contract for 2 years. You can't negotiate. There's no wiggle room. That is the rules that you have been given. So I'm actually very fortunate in this. I hate to say it, but I was actually fortunate for the pandemic
Oh.
because I signed just as the pandemic hit, and then it
Damn.
did hit, and then I had to stay indoors essentially for 2 years. But turns out that's what the world was doing anyway.
Yeah.
If you had to do again, it's not 200. We're going to say it because it's easier. If you
Yep.
have to commit to those 200 hours a month, well, when do you get time for you? When do you get
Yeah.
time to do your own thing? to try and learn a new skill? Or, I should say, when do you get time to diversify your revenue? You don't.
You don't.
You don't get time to do that. So yeah, making it a full-time job is a hard thing. A lot of people try to stream full-time. Very few are successful. And that's not me being like, oh, look at me, I'm successful. It's me saying it's very difficult. And it is largely it is a really big case of if someone likes you and they take to your stuff. You can be, there is so many sub 10 viewer streamers that I have watched who are charismatic and funny and easy to listen to and fun to watch, but no one notices them because they're down the bottom of a directory that no one's checking. So
yeah. There's a lot of things you can do in terms of increasing discoverability, but that little part in advertising, that little effort in marketing is usually overlooked very hard.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. When I got to partner, you couldn't do this anymore. I kind of want to pivot and explain this because people, because the next question is, if you're saying how do you make it a career, I suppose the next question is how do you be successful? How do you do that? Or how do you find that? Right, that's the next pivot.
I suppose, yeah.
Yeah, and the really, really quick one is like now it's a lot different, but it's a lot more different now. It's just more so like just trying to stand out. Back in the day, I got partnered. Do you know Dead by Daylight? Are you familiar with it?
Yeah. I
Cool.
saw that it was in your FAQ of just like,
you taught on that, yeah.
man plays Dead by Daylight. I'm like, looks at his current content. Where the bloody hell is Dead by Daylight?
Yeah, I love DVD. Yeah, so that was the thing. I touched on it. I love DVD, love the game to fucking pieces. I'm still partnered with them, still a fog whisperer. I still do play it. But they've had some things going on which have made it difficult. Like there's been DDoS stuff, like people getting your IP by playing the game and can DDoS you. For those who don't know, DDoS is distributed denial of service, and it just basically you just take a break from the internet is the best way I'm going to put it.
Yeah.
Massive packets. But yeah. So that people can find your IP. At the moment, there's some stuff that's going on with it makes it difficult, but I love the fucking game to pieces. It's what I started playing on stream. It was almost my very first stream. It wasn't my first. My first game was For Honor, but then fucking love that game. That's still going, by the way.
Oh yeah.
But DVD, love it to fucking pieces. Great game, 12 out of 10 game. But there's some stuff going on with it right now, which makes it not attractive to play. I want to keep playing it. I will keep playing it. Also, at the moment, I've got some stuff going on where, for whatever reason, DVD is making me motion sick, and I don't get motion sick. I've never been motion sick in my life.
Oh yeah,
so I don't know how to experience it.
Randomly triggers at a certain point, God knows when, but you never figure out the cause.
I've never had it. Yeah, and DVD, for whatever reason, recently has been causing that, and that's a problem. So it's been difficult. It's been a game I haven't been playing as a result. No, it's not getting old, Marks, but I know what it is. I'm well aware of what it is, and it's got I'm not getting old.
Nico and I are not even old, and we somehow got motion sickness very early.
Yep.
Yeah, it just happens. It just happens out of nowhere.
Yeah, I am hell on anything the size of a bus and lower, basically.
Yeah, you totally get it. For me, I have some health stuff that is happening, and I'm taking some meds for it, which are causing me to be motion sick. I'm okay, don't worry. But the side effect of them is motion sickness.
Yeah. Side effects are always real funky. Yeah.
But it's only with DVD. For whatever reason, it's just the camera, I guess. I don't know what it is. I think it's actually
camera bobbing or depth of field.
Yeah, that's what it is. And that DVD does it. Hunt doesn't do it. Other games don't do it. DVD does. So that's why I've been gravitating to other games at the moment. DVD is still a fantastic game. If you're trying to make streaming your career, you generally want to stand out in some way. But the main part now is you need to diversify. You need to have a YouTube. You need to do other things. If you want to, the days of blowing up just on Twitch are done. You really need to be lightning in a bottle. I'm going to talk about like your Dr. Disrespects or something. You need to be lightning in a bottle to be able to blow up solely on Twitch. Because it's not done anymore. There's so many viewers. It's so saturated. DVD I bring up because it was a fringe case, because it's a game that, even though it has one viewership, it's got two roles, Killer and Survivor, and they are so distinctly different that if you wanted to split the viewership directory into Killers and Survivors, you could. There could actually be a Twitch directory for DVD Survivors and DVD Killers.
Okay.
And so I just looked at what people weren't playing which was Killer. No one was playing Killer. No one was playing Killer at a certain time, and no one was playing Killer during a certain time in Australia. So that's when I played Killer, and therefore people found me. That was my. You can't do that anymore. That's long gone. So if you're trying to make this a serious thing and continue doing it, not to you, I'm talking to about the question in general.
Yep.
Yeah, you need to diversify. Have a YouTube, Instagram, and whatnot works. Fantastic, sure. But like, are you coming to do content from Instagram? Are you a model? Cool, you're a model. Cool, but what game are you playing? Or what are you talking about? What are you doing? It needs to be something of interest. You are fantastic in the sense that you have a skill of radio and talking and all of that, and you managed to bring that to you. You have an existing skill set, which is great. You've moved that over.
I have stories from about 5 or 6 jobs, so
exactly fascinating stories, I may add. Yeah, you've got that, which is fantastic. So, but for anyone else who doesn't have what you've got, it's difficult. You need to have a YouTube, need to have other things. Absolutely.
Fair enough, because diversification of content is pretty much the same as bloody diversification of investment, even.
Yep.
Yeah. Like,
absolutely.
One of the first or second things you get taught in finance is just don't put all your eggs in one basket. Diversify. Pick a whole bunch of things that look good, because you can. Nothing's stopping you from doing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you see that YouTube's doing good, yeah, sure, put an egg in YouTube. Oh, you see Twitch is doing it. Yep, throw something on Twitch. Okay. TikTok's blowing up. All right. Maybe you can throw a short there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Short form content. That's a whole ball game. Yeah. Short form content is really exploding, is on the rise.
Shorts
Absolutely.
are painful to think of, because there's been the whole history of Vine followed up by God knows whatever bloody hell else.
I can actually add on that.
Oh, God. Yeah, go for it.
So there's a funny thing with YouTube Shorts, because originally it used to receive a lot of what was the word? I guess it received a lot of traction on YouTube.
A lot of promotion.
Yeah, a lot of promotion was done for it. But reminder, that was back then. Right now, YouTube Shorts are actually on purpose being pushed back, because not only do creators not really earn much from Shorts,
no,
but also because they need to kind of like, I guess, middle out to make sure the actual videos are showing up and not just a bunch of shorts. Not to mention, we now have in YouTube a homepage, video page, shorts page, live page.
Yeah.
So nowadays it's become much harder. I've actually seen that myself, because what happened was I had a friend of mine who used to do mostly shorts. And actually, there's this streamer in the Valorant scene that also literally got up to like 1 million subscribers on YouTube just purely because of shorts. But
that's insane.
If you ever search up Schrodinger Lee, which is actually also Aussie, he became really popular on both TikTok and YouTube purely from just shorts.
Wow. Yeah. That's a lot of Valorant shorts, and they were a very specific kind of one.
It was a bit cringe.
How does one put it?
GFP bait.
Oh.
Valorant gets nicknamed a dating site for a reason sometimes. Anyway.
Is it just a lot because dudes just hit on girls? Is that what it is?
Other way around too.
Other way around as well.
Girls hit on guys?
It happens.
But baiting them, like, hey, gamer boy, and then they lower their guard and then you cap them?
No, it's not like that. I can actually give a quick explanation on this.
Okay, go first-hand stories on this.
Okay.
First.
Yes, I know, because I have too many friends part of this.
I know.
How dare you be popular? My God, you bitch. Yeah, continue.
So basically how it is a lot of them will usually not get so one of the girls, they usually will not go for a guy that's like, speaks the same language as them, or treats them kind of like, awful. So what they end up doing is they usually end up on Japanese servers or Korean servers. And once they find the perfect Korean guy, or the Korean or the Japanese guy, they will immediately start doing like the anime bait. Okay. Where they'll say the what's the word? It's the whole dialogue of the wife the wife at the door saying if they want to have like food, taking.
Got you.
Yeah, it's that one. And their entire content is just baiting other people from other cultures by making them feel a certain way.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, is that a real thing?
Yes, it is. 100% it is.
Christ.
That's a real thing. I did not know that. I like, you hear about it, but you're like, no way is that actual content. But
Yeah,
it actually is.
Valorant 5-player team game, open VoIP. Yeah.
I wonder actually how many. But here's the thing, though. I wonder how many like legitimate relationships have come from that. Like truly.
There have been a few. There have been a few.
So from what I understand, a lot of the ones from Valorant were already partners by then. They weren't even like dating because of Valorant. They were already partners through like high school and other things like that.
So it's just by association.
Okay.
Else, yeah, you may as well treat it as a real funky dating website at that point. Yeah.
I know a few of my friends who have made relationships through Valorant. It's just that it's not a long lasting.
No,
Not a
a
long-lasting
substantial
affair.
relationship. Not I'm moving from Canada relationship. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Not I'm moving across the world, yeah.
He didn't say this, but it was actually specifically Canada to America, then Australia.
That's
Yeah,
bonkers.
she
Wait,
had the whole...
you lived in America for a bit?
I
She
basically
was
moved
mainly in America.
I moved every 5 years.
Wow.
So what was your travel history again?
Okay, I was born in California. I moved over to Hong Kong. I went back to California. Then I went to Oklahoma, New Mexico.
Stop, I want to get off. Oh my God. So keep going. It's insane. Keep going, yeah.
Then I went to Canada for university. And then I was like, I kind of don't like Canada right now. I kind of don't like Canada right now. There's always that like one point in your life where there's something that was so bad, you're like, yeah, I don't know about this.
And that was Canada for you.
That was Canada for me.
Okay.
Because at least in America, I didn't have too much of a choice. In Canada, though, I have a choice.
Mm.
And around this time, this guy next to me was just kind of like, hey, so we have the offer of you can come to Australia. I'm not going to force you, but Australia is an option.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes.
You did.
Yeah.
Have you been? I've got a question. Have you been enjoying it? Like, do you like it? Be real. It's okay. I'm not gonna. You can't insult me. I'm Australian.
Okay. So we're gonna get into some TLDRs, but
Sure.
there's a difference between Melbourne and Sydney, obviously.
Yeah, a massive difference. Yeah.
Yes. One thing I like about here is, for one, 4 seasons actually exist.
Yes. Very true.
Very true. The food, the ingredient like quality, I love it. Please give me more. I love the ingredient coffee. Like I love the ingredients here.
Yes.
I do question specifically in Sydney. I don't understand why so many of the trees are inconsistent.
In terms of what?
Why do we have palm trees next to evergreens, next to maples, next to
That
God knows
is a
what?
question for the Sydney City Council, and I have no fucking clue. Actually, I don't get that. Like, it doesn't look good, that's for sure.
No,
so I'm
it's
not
some
quite
parts
sure
that-
what it is.
Some parts it looks fine. It's just that why
Yeah,
the hell
no,
is
I
it
agree,
like
some
7, 8 different shades of green?
I think it's look. I want to go with it's a local species thing of bird, but that's just a stretch. That's a reach. Like I need a ladder for that one.
Over
I don't know.
here, we get like one species of bird because it keeps
The
cocking
bin
the rest
chicken.
of them.
Yeah.
Yes, the bin chicken.
Yeah. The bin chicken.
By the
Oh
way,
God. So bin chicken population did not actually explode until like 2 years ago.
Now it's exploded.
It exploded because people disappeared from the streets.
Doesn't surprise me.
yeah, I mean, it's funny because I will say, if you ever have any person who's coming to Australia for the very first time, if you want to actually amaze them, just show them a bin chicken.
Yeah. Show them an ibis.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah,
Like
ibises.
I'm used to them, but yeah, I totally understand. If you don't know what an ibis is, show them an ibis. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, ibises are great. Ibises are fucking great.
I-
God, why the fuck are there so many of them?
And have you been in Melbourne much?
I haven't been to Melbourne yet. I have met a bunch of people who came from Melbourne to go to to just come here to be like, hey, I want to go to this anime con, or hey, I just want to visit because I'm curious.
Yeah. It's look, we're coffee snobs. That's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember
Probably heard that, yeah,
I
sure.
had a friend who was from like Malaysia, who came over to visit visit in Sydney,
Hmm.
and all she had to tell me was, "I brought a jacket because I thought I needed a jacket,
No.
but I don't need a jacket. What is
No.
this?"
No, I keep an umbrella in the back of my car for like at all points. I think everyone in Victoria does for that exact reason. Like, no,
Christ.
you're good.
All I know is Victorian weather, real funky, real funky.
Oh yeah, no, fuck yeah. But come visit sometime. It's great. Are you coming to DreamHack, by the way?
DreamHack, there would have been a time where I would have volunteered for that kind of stuff, but at this point, nah, I don't think so. Not this time around.
I was gonna go to there. I got asked to actually host an event there, and I won't be going. I won't be there, which is unfortunate. But it would have been cool next year potentially.
Yeah, I don't know. Esports events kind of fallen off from time to time these days.
They have, yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, more to the point, E3 is no longer a thing. RIP.
Oh yeah.
So all gaming
E3 completely
is going.
died off. Yeah, gaming's kind of just become less of a thing to celebrate as kind of like nerd culture or in culture, so to speak, and just, popular. It's there.
Yeah, no, it's the thing that's now.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. Absolutely, it's no. But also on that though, like you go back go back like 10 years. 10 years?
10
That
years.
sounds like a lot, but realistically, it's not.
It's
You
not.
go back about it's not. You go back about 10 years, like people weren't really making a living from gaming, and if you were still a gamer, you were still that guy, girl, whatever. Usually, predominantly guy who was in
Yeah.
your mom's basement. That's no longer the case now. If you're a gamer, you're a successful gamer. You're not seen as a rock star, but you're definitely doing something right. Like if
Yeah.
you're like a really successful one.
Let's say 10 years ago, I can pull up the story of ninjas in pajamas in their Counter-Strike run, basically.
Correct. And now,
And now the man Get
yeah.
Right was the last guy to have retired from that team.
yeah, what was he? Wow, that's
Yeah.
a memory.
Everyone
Fuck,
else,
that takes-
everyone else left after a while. Forrest, Fiflarin, a bunch of others. God,
God,
I
it takes
don't
me
remember the
back.
names that well, but yeah. Get Right was
Yeah,
the
now
last one to
And now we
jump
have
ship.
streamers who
Yeah.
are now done. That's now become. That's become how we get our content now. Is predominantly through like you check the. Is it a good selling game? Sure. Check the Twitch directory though. Like is
Yeah,
that doing well?
Twitch directory is pretty telling of what is particularly popular at a given time.
Absolutely.
It's
Yep.
just that trying to chase trends or trying to figure out what game is going to blow up for you is kind of a nightmare. Twitch has been trying to show stuff, I guess, in the sense of how does one put it? When you go to your Twitch channel page and all that, they give a little research tab and show you what you could be streaming. Only most of the time when you look at that, it's actually very depressing.
I think I'm gonna do that right now. Actually, you've made me look. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah,
I don't.
because when you go to Creator Dashboard, you then go into Analytics under Research, and then it'll tell you stuff that you've recently streamed, or you can enter any given category, and then it'll tell you a rough guide of when you should try
So
to
just
stream.
analytics
even.
under research.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a new tab.
So you go
I
to
don't
Research,
possess that.
or you go to your Creator Dashboard.
I'm on it. Yep.
Underneath Stream Manager, so there'll be a
Yep.
tab called Analytics. Click on Analytics, then there's
Done deal.
Research right there.
There is not for me.
Oh,
It might be just a affiliate thing,
very
funny enough.
new feature that has come around.
Interesting. I don't have it. No, not
If
there.
not, you can look
Don't
in
possess it.
your. If not, you can look in your overview section.
Maybe Discovery. That's the viewer Discovery. It just shows me where people found me from.
Oh,
If you
I just
look at
remembered
the
what I-
overview section, you'll also see a little section down there, which says category suggestions as well.
I just remembered something to shit on like Australia for.
Oh, please do. Go for it. Yep.
This is a really weird one,
Uh-huh.
and
It's fine.
honestly, every American will look at me being like, "What are you talking about? This sounds great."
Okay.
For some reason, a lot of restaurants here, you look at them and you're like, "Oh, this price seems like but oh well. It seems interesting." You and then they give you the plate,
Hmm.
and suddenly you realize, I don't think I can finish this.
Yeah, portion size is perfectly fine here. Basically,
Yeah.
perfect portion size is big.
I thought you were gonna shit on us for that. That's a good thing though.
It's
Surely.
I mean, it would be a good thing.
It's a good thing. Only the one next to me is a short stack. So,
Oh,
most
you
of
itty
you-
bitty. You like 5'8"? Not 5'8", sorry. You're like 4'8", sorry.
No. Okay, I can actually give you centimeters, but anyways.
she barely beats 150.
Oh.
But yeah, it's not because the thing
Itty
is
bitty.
that I never understood that, considering you guys have still quite a few like short people here.
What, 5 foot? You were itty boy.
Not really. The average height here is roughly 170.
That's still shorter than even like America or Canada.
I'm only a centimeter taller than the average height.
It's weird because I see so all of so I'm 6 foot, but all my friends like are like 6'3", 6'4". All of them are giants. Everyone. Don't get it.
Here
Yes.
it's like we have a variety, a very wide variety.
Also,
Yeah.
you want to do centimeters, so I'm 182.2 or something, I think. And
Christ.
all my friends are significantly taller than that, and I don't feel small per
What
se,
is-
but they're all giant.
They're all
big boys.
giants.
And
man.
I'm like, I'm looking up at all of them, literally, and I'm not short by any method, but they are all tall, and I do not get it.
Don't
So
know.
to hear you say that the average is not that, I'm actually like, oh my god, are my friends freaks? Like, is that what this is? Like, are they outside of the spectrum? I need to know.
Let's
So I'm just-
say 170. Well, me at 170, I was considered the third shortest in my entire year for a while when going through
170,
high
that's
school.
still pretty tall, though, relatively.
Relatively. In the grand scheme of the world, yes.
Yeah.
It is considered shorter because in America,
In the Western world, no.
Yeah,
that's
true.
okay. I can actually give you the average height in like the
Please.
North Americas. So in specifically the United States, it is in feet. It's about 5'10", 5'10".
Uh-huh.
It's gotten it's gotten a lot taller over the years because children eat. I don't know what they've been eating. They've just been eating.
Still that corn. We've
You
got
look
no
at
idea, yeah.
you look at kids, it's just like,
Most
this fucker's tall.
most 10-year-olds are now taller than I am.
You fucking what, mate?
That's how I don't know how do I grats you on that? I'm unsure. I don't know.
No, probably
okay, look,
not.
You know, there's nothing wrong being vertically challenged. That's fine. It's not a problem. You know, if you and Eco ever have a disagreement, he can just put you on top of a fridge, and you can sit and think about what you've done. It's fine. Easy peasy. He'll just lift you up. You're tiny.
But yeah,
Problem
as for Canada, it's
Airplanes are great for you. Actually, you can fit anywhere. Like, there's a lot of bonuses.
airplanes. Funny enough, airplanes in America have gotten a lot. The seating has gotten a lot smaller.
The
Honestly,
seats have. Oh yeah. No, absolutely. Now, have you tried? Yeah, no, fuck that. Doing a 15-hour flight and those, no, never again. I don't like
Oh,
that.
15 hours. Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah, when I
wow.
travel to the States, yeah, it's 15 hours on the plane.
Do remind me, how long did it take for you to travel from the
From
States
Canada
over?
to here, it would have taken you like 20 hours.
No. Okay.
Oh, she had it even worse.
Okay.
Okay. So, to put it in perspective, my family lives in New Mexico. And
Okay.
New Mexico doesn't have an international plane, like an international airport.
Terminal.
Okay.
Yep.
So, so what they had to do was first they had to get me through LAX. Ew, but go on.
Yeah, okay, yeah. LAX is gross, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's gross. If you want a airport worse than that, just go to France. But
Look, I'm not going to TwitchCon Paris, but yeah, you've just sold me why not to, so thanks for that.
But yes, so that was like only, I think it was only 2 hours, but the layover was like 8 hours.
Yep. So
And
we're
then-
already on
What did
10
you do?
hours.
Just sit on the floor and cry.
Uh,
What do you...
This is okay. Here's a tip for anyone who has a really long layover: download Pokemon Go.
It just didn't they just shut that down? Though? I
No.
read something.
Game's still running.
It's still running.
What did I just read? There was something about Pokemon Go. There's something was getting shut down. Maybe it wasn't Pokemon Go. No, whatever. Continue. So
Probably a
download
different-
Pokemon Go.
Yeah, just download Pokemon Go. You'd be like, the airport's big enough, especially if it's an international one, so you might as well download it. And it,
That's actually pretty smart.
yeah, it gets you through pretty like a lot. And then you have a 12 to 14 hour flight from LAX to Haneda Airport in Japan.
Fuck that. You came a long way. Damn.
And then
Also,
and then you had like another 10-hour flight from, no, it was not. It was like 8 hours actually. It was the 8-hour flight from the Haneda Airport to the Sydney one.
that's
Yep.
insane. That is such a long trip, and only to end up in Sydney. I'm so sorry. No, that's fine. That's actually, no, that's fine. That is a long trip, but also that's kind of sweet though. That is absolutely modern day love story. I don't care what anyone says. Fuck it, repair me. That is no, come on. That is pretty fucking cute. Like real talk.
It
Like
is. I will say it
it
is
is.
actually easier to go from Toronto, Canada to Australia than New Mexico to Australia.
Yep. And you
Yeah,
made both
that's-
trips.
wow.
Actually a quick tip,
Huge.
never take, if you're going to be choosing between an American airline versus a Canadian one, let's see. American Airlines is pretty alright. Do not take Delta. Absolutely do not take Delta.
Okay, I've never flown Delta, so thank you. Yep.
Air Canada is only fine if you don't want to take Delta.
Wow.
That's a depressing set of recommendations.
Yeah, I'm so okay. Wow. Well, tell
Yes.
us how you really feel, I guess. Yeah.
And
wow. Alright, fair enough.
if you really want a decent one, if you want an even more decent one from like Australia to America, Qantas.
I've only ever flown United. Literally, that's all I've ever flown.
United is good. I would say American Airlines, United, then Delta.
I have to add the addendum. I've always flown Business United, so it's
Wow.
potentially a bit different. I want to sleep. I want my bed. I'm flying 15 hours, man. That's happening.
Fair enough,
It's
fair
okay.
enough.
It's okay. Like American Airlines is still a little better even then, but ironically Qantas is pretty good. If you want to avoid every single, like if you want to have like good food, go on a Japanese airline.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've always wondered that. Thank you for clarifying that for me. I've always wanted to know. I'm learning. Okay, I know it's like an interview and you're supposed to. I've learned so much tonight. Like this has actually been enlightening. Legitimately, I did not know that you had traveled. Like I knew your story was cute. Like the pair of you, that's pretty fucking adorable. You did it during COVID as well. I mean, come on. You got to pat yourselves on the back at some point. But to hear all your travel tips as well is pretty fucking cool because you've done it. You've absolutely done it.
I've been
Horrifyingly
doing
frequent
it
flyer.
every year since the age of 2.
You're in like every freaking flyer program ever, man. Like you've done it all. You've got every fucking mile. If you want to go anywhere for miles, you probably could.
If I remember correctly, I think before I left Canada, if I had redeemed my Air Canada points, I would have been able to redeem up to $800.
Jesus, yeah, you've done it all.
Wow.
You've done it all, man. You've done it all.
It's because it's also because some. Okay, so a weird tip is that for some reason also it was actually United and Air Canada are actually part of the same branch. So you
I did
can
not know that.
you can technically, I think it was either American Airlines or United. So if
Yeah.
you do either two, you can actually get a coupon of some sort. Some codes of coupons from United can work in Air Canada and other way around.
These are all the travel tips that actually people need to know. I'm serious. Have you considered? I'm not even joking here. Have you considered doing like a blog for travel tips? I'm not even kidding. Like the world of learning this is very confusing. There is actually someone who does it. It's like the name is like the Point Guy, and his whole thing is explaining this very complicated and nuanced thing, and you clearly know it.
The travel
I've
system.
I've had a few streamers ask me about tips regarding
Yeah,
just traveling.
they're not wrong. Legit.
Some people will ask, "Oh, how do you like move from one country to the other?" And the first tip
With great difficulty.
the first tip I usually give is check your country's like relationship with the country you're moving to.
Yeah, and Canada and Australia get along just fine.
Yeah, exactly.
With no issue. In fact, Canada was asking people to immigrate to there, if memory serves, not long ago.
Yeah,
So-
Was it?
So
yeah, that was a while back.
so
That was,
actually
yeah.
so actually the university, like, what's UTS supposed to be again?
Huh? University of Tech, Sydney.
Yeah, University of Tech Sydney was actually doing a program. And I know this because I went to the other university, but they were specifically doing a collaboration between UTS and Toronto Metropolitan University, which used to be Ryerson University.
Mm-hmm.
And they have quite a few with like Canada to Australia. They also have one between Thailand and Australia.
Damn.
Yep.
You've really fucking done it all, man. Like, in terms of travel, like, and now you're here to end up in Sydney. I mean,
It is cheaper to live here, fun fact.
What? Fuck off. No way. Sydney's
Oh.
disgustingly expensive.
Oh, no. You don't understand how bad it was in Canada. Oh, God.
Really? Tell me more.
Okay,
Like, I know Sydney's disgustingly expensive.
Okay, so here's your reference.
Yeah, please.
So Toronto, Canada. It is considered the third most expensive province in Canada. We do
Okay.
not have that many provinces, by the way. I think
you
there's
don't.
like 9 to 12 provinces, and and the only one that's probably going against us is Prince Edward Island or British Columbia.
Okay.
So that's your reference. British Columbia
Wow.
is basically Washington in America, if it was more
Okay.
Canadian.
Oh god.
If there was more maple syrup. Okay, yeah.
And then, so yeah, like, and to put in perspective, my rent, which keep in mind was a rent done in 2022. Like, this was 2022 rent. I was paying about, so the Canadian Australian, like, money is not that different.
It's about
No,
10%.
you're right.
10% up. 10%.
I was paying about 1.771k per month for in CAD
For what?
For
Like
rent.
for my rent.
yeah, no, but for how big of a place? What were you getting from it?
I
though?
was getting a quote unquote 1-bedroom place. I say quote unquote. My 1 bedroom was just 2 glass panels.
So really, it was a studio with 2 glass panels.
It was a studio. It was a studio with 2 glass
With a
panels,
bathroom.
which did not help you, because you would kind of go insane if you kept your bed in there.
Yeah. Okay, and that's what you were paying, what, a
2K.
fortnight, a month?
2K a month.
Yeah.
2k a month. That does not include.
Wow, fuck that. That's Sydney prices, though. Surely you pay about the same in Sydney.
Oh,
Not even
No?
close.
Really? I thought Sydney was
Yeah.
just absolutely disgusting.
So-
Like,
okay. So keep in mind that was 2022. Right now in 2023, the cost to live in Toronto right now is about 2.5k.
gee, are we in a rental crisis as well? Right
Yes.
Yeah, we're in a rental crisis right now. I just fucking lucked out recently, so yeah.
Yeah, we lucked out a lot.
Did you? Evidently you did. But I suppose you've taken a lot of risks to deserve it. Did we not? By the way, are you getting your Have you gotten your rent increased massively?
So
Oh no,
there's-
we only just moved in like a month and a bit ago.
Oh, you're set then. Easy peasy.
yeah,
Okay,
we
cool.
just moved into this new place, but even before we got this new place, I was searching for places for like 5-6 months.
Yeah, it was brutal.
Wow, that's a slog.
Yeah, I don't
Did
know.
you-
I think the landlord just turned out to be probably either one of my patrons at the casino or something other funky like that. I think it
Yeah.
was.
So it was
Well-
either it was one of your patrons or the real estate agent was either a fan of either of us.
Yeah, and they were on board, and they were like, yeah, sure, no worries.
All I remember was the landlord just telling me, "Oh yeah, I know about the dealer life. Yep." Mhm.
Maybe he's been there, done that. Yeah, he's probably tried that at some point. Like, he
The
knows-
man works some strata construction company or manages
Okay,
it,
fair
so everything in this place is actually very well maintained.
It is very
Yeah.
nice. But
So doesn't surprise me. Wow.
Uh,
And you're paying less than what you were
let's
over in
say
Canada.
between two
Roughly.
people, it's significantly less,
yeah,
Yeah,
the-
absolutely.
and for a significant amount more.
yeah,
Learning-
I went from a 1-bedroom place with like only a separate bathroom, but the kitchen was still in the same area, to a proper living room, proper bedroom, a kitchen, and a washroom.
So
And
yeah.
you really, I'm assuming anyway, that you did 5 to 6 months. You were really looking.
Yeah.
So
Like you've really done the hard yards.
I knew that the rental, I've already had to experience finding a place in Canada, which Canada is actually the second worst in terms of finding a property.
Huh.
Worst is just Japan.
Yeah, worse is Japan.
Yeah, no, that I believe that. I actually watched a documentary on that not long ago, actually. Yeah. Yep. Very true, very true.
Yeah,
Wow.
and then yeah. So what was I saying?
Yeah.
You were saying that you're saying Japan is worse, and then you were saying Canada is right behind that.
Yeah. So and the thing is, I was finding my place during the pandemic.
Yeah, so you were fighting. Like honestly, you were competing with a lot of other people.
Oh,
But
funny.
you see things on. Keep going. Sorry, keep going.
So funny enough, it wasn't actually that bad, because I was in the city. Funny enough, no one else wanted the city.
Did you see? I see things on Reddit, man, about like people queuing out the door to view a single bedroom apartment in Sydney.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
All right.
Like,
So
help me here.
there was a time where I had to go inspect about 4 properties in the same day.
Right. Is that real, by the way?
Yes.
Keep going.
Yes.
Keep
Yes,
going. I want to hear this
100%.
story. Yeah,
So-
I need to hear this.
4 properties in the same day, and she was doing 4 properties in the same day as well, because we considered it as just, we have less than a month to move out, or else we're stuck in the little shit bin that we
Yep.
were currently in. Because we were sharing a 2-bedroom place with like one other guy before.
I don't know how you pulled it off. That's very cramped. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cramped. We had a 4x4 room at most to ourselves, and that was our only private space. So we were like, okay, we have to move
You didn't
in.
really have it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it took all the way up to that point, and then we were like, okay, we have to find a place this weekend or bust, basically. And
Wow.
each place I went to was kind of progressively worse. So the first one I went to was like right next to like the train station and all that. And that was just like, okay, sure, it's like really high up. It's on like 7th or 8th floor. I look
Yeah,
down, I
it's
get
lounge,
fucking
yeah.
vertigo. Christ. The only
Yeah.
reason why there's a decent amount of room is because the bed folds up into the wall.
Okay. Yeah, enjoy that each day. Right. And there was that massive queue.
There was only about 6 people there, so it's like,
Okay,
okay,
good,
that's
good,
not
good,
bad.
good.
That's not bad. Second place I go to was closer to the party districts. Close to where my old place used to be, kind of, and I got there early. I was there 15 minutes early, and there were already 20 people there.
Wow.
When I went up to inspect it, it was a tiny ass fucking studio and not very efficient, not very compact or anything. You couldn't fit a washer or dryer in there. It was pretty much, you had the kitchen right next to the bed, next to the balcony, and that was it.
Cool.
God
Sydney.
awful, horrifying.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
leave
fuck
after
that.
like 5 minutes taking photos just to confirm with her that, do we really want this place? I'm saying fuck off from this place.
I still like that you confirmed. You're like, hey, just so you know, this is a death trap. We're not doing this, but just so you know, like, here's the option. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, do you really want me to apply for this later?
I said
Anyway.
no.
Anyway,
Very quick no, yeah.
I go down the elevator. I look outside. There's 50 more people.
I had a similar situation when I went to the first place I went to.
Yep.
There was like 30 different people going up. Because I am a tiny little Asian girl, I can just go up just because I can go through the
You're
elevator.
itty bitty. You can slink through people. Yeah, it's a skill,
Exactly.
man.
Yes. So it was very nice in that sense. But any other sense, no. And when I went out, there was another 50 people.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So did you really fight for this one?
So third
Like you
place.
said, the guy liked you, but like, was there
Yeah.
a lot of?
So third place, I came over. I was like, oh god, there's this really terrible uphill here. Am I gonna have to do this every day? I have to
I
do
like
this
that
every
you're
day.
like, "Oh, fuck this, I'm not doing this. Yeah. That's so, yeah. Okay, good.
I have walked up that hill today already. God damn it.
I'm done. I'm not doing this every day. Yeah, nice, nice.
But yeah, I got to the top of the place. I'm like, oh, there's maybe like 3 people here, right? Look back, there's like another 15. Oh, these guys weren't lining
Oh.
up for the Thai restaurant. Oh,
no. But at least you know you. I feel like it's nice that you had to do that hill though, because you really needed to want it. Like if you're
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
that hill constantly, like you need to want the place. Yeah.
yeah, I take a look at the place. It's like two fairly sizable rooms strapped to one another, plus a bathroom and a kitchen. So I'm like, yeah, it's all right. It's all right. I hate this road though. Oh god, I hate this road. Because I had some pretty bad trauma with that road when I was looking for a place to move out to originally, and I was like,
That wouldn't surprise me.
I
Sydney
was
roads are trash.
like,
I know
fuck.
this.
Like this road is just like one long hipster stretch.
I wouldn't do it. I would not personally own a car in Sydney. I would just take public transport everywhere.
There was
Sydney roads
like
are trash.
50 something cafes or some shit here. I'm just like,
Yeah.
so when I eventually got back to her about this current place, I was like, okay, I know you're going to love this place, but I'm going to hate it.
Okay, listen, you said you like the place more.
Yes, the place is very nice, it turns out. Because I don't have to deal with the rest of the road most of the time. I just go the back way to the public transport. and
then
settle
you
it that way.
Now you're fucking set. So now you're rude, you players, and you two are happy with it. You're all
Yeah,
good.
yeah. It's all good. All
The
good.
only-
And we were even given a fairly competitive price. So
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, the funny thing is, our current price is how much our old shithouse is now.
Oh my god, well you're fine. You're loving. You
Yeah,
really
yeah.
lucked out then.
The old shit house had its rent raised up to our current one, so we're just like, if we stayed there, fucking hell, that was not worth
Oh yeah,
paying
absolutely.
for. Yeah.
Did we ever talk about like what happened days before we moved?
Which
Oh,
part?
no, you didn't. Please tell me. I'm
all
actually
of
fascinated.
the stuff breaking down slowly.
No, I mean the fire.
Oh, right.
A fire?
Okay,
did what?
so next to Party District and all that. So
Okay,
next to
continue.
Party District, someone was probably partying a bit too hard because
A bit of arson?
suddenly,
Yeah.
a bin caught fire outside.
Spontaneously, who knew? Yeah.
It didn't help.
Probably a
It was
cigarette.
next to this kitchen that was just selling a bunch of hookahs.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's a fire hazard waiting to happen. Yeah.
Yep. So that was a massive ass fireball. And we just look over and we're
Holy
just like,
shit.
shit. Meanwhile, our
Well, that's
Flat-
your cue to leave, right?
yeah,
like, that's it. That's
our
what you know.
flatmate at the time was just like, hey, get the camera. Poses in front of the thing.
It's quintessential Sydney. Oi, there's a fucking fire. Get the camera. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, great. Got to film it. No worries. Straight to Reddit immediately. People need to know.
Yeah, poses in front of the camera with the damn thing. Yeah. So we got a photo of our former flatmate just squatting in front of the fire. Absolute legend, that guy sometimes. That cunt managed to catch... Let's say, managed to just be on the Facebook Marketplace for a couple of weeks just to make sure we had a fridge and a washing machine at that place. And he carried them over.
Oh my god, that's dedication. You still talk?
Yeah, here and there. The guy, let's see, he pretty much carried it up, carried a fridge 2 suburbs uphill.
What is he? Is he a brick shit house? Like, what is he doing? Is he Giant Mary? Like, what is
He
this?
doesn't have a choice but to be fit, basically.
I mean, he
Yeah,
had
well.
another person to help out, but it was still just 2 guys.
2 guys pushing a fridge up a hill, basically. A very steep
Wow.
hill, mind you.
That's all Sydney, though, really, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, props to you, man. Like, yeah, you could get the mover, or you could just lift it yourself. I wouldn't do it. Mad respect for that.
When we moved out, we didn't grab a mover. We just called up our mates and his brother.
Yeah, we figured that, yes, is there anyone free at the time? We will give you a drink if you want it.
You took the Korean gangsters at your casino's approach, which is, I'll just call my cousin. It's okay. It's fine. I'll need to check. And like, someone always knew, like, the fact that like the same thing they did, except theirs was shady and shitty. You just happen to know people, and that's so cool that you actually have a network of friends that you could just communicate with
Oh, yeah.
and get.
So my most common phrase for a while was, I know a guy who knows a guy.
I believe it.
We both are like that. Because what ended
just-
up...
Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this fella
Yeah,
because
you do
I
what you gotta
don't
do.
want to deal with that
I
kind
was
of
gonna
stuff.
laugh, but I was
Yeah.
like, is this the time? Yeah, you do you.
But yeah, it was like... Because with him, he just has a bunch of mates that he met through other things. I don't know where half of them come from, if I'm honest.
How does one put it? Whatever reason, the anime societies in Sydney, have very weirdly far-reaching influence all over the fucking shop for some reason.
Like all over, just everywhere. Yeah. Well, it's
Yeah.
anime though. It is sort of like the great unionized, like not unionized, Jesus Christ. But you get me. Like, it's
Yeah,
a great
yeah.
thing. Like so many people, you wouldn't even know who's into. You can't look at someone and be like, you're into anime. You've got no idea.
Yeah,
Other people watch
because
it.
I pretty
Absolutely.
much I met a couple of guys through there. Those guys happen to know more guys, and those guys happen to know even more guys, etc., etc. Eventually, you realize that during university, I was going from one place to a completely different place every single day for like 7 days in a week, and then just keep talking with more and more people. And then eventually, I dragged a couple of those onto radio just to get them some spotlight, blah, blah, blah.
That's really cool of you because you didn't have to do that, and you took that upon yourself. So good on you.
Yeah, like
He-
one of
he
that bunch
also-
was the Mahjong bunch, because I was like, oh yeah, I've hosted tournaments for these Mahjong cunts before.
Is this the competitive Mahjong bunch? Like
Yep.
the ones that are like really good? Yeah.
Yep. I was
He
like,
also
okay.
just wants interesting people to talk to on a radio show.
Sorry, I missed that bit. He wants interesting. Of course you do, because if you don't have someone you can talk to, they're not interesting. If they can't
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
with you, it's like, what's the fucking point? If you're just reading the questions off.
Yep, pretty
where's
much.
the- yeah, I'm with you entirely.
Because yeah, that
Right.
Mahjong bunch was just a case of I met them at almost complete random. The anime club happened to like playing a lot of Mahjong, and then we figured, surely there are groups of people out there who also play Mahjong, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So we rocked up with like 5 guys to their meetup, and we almost outnumbered them, and then we joined them.
And then the rest is history. I think it's really cool that you can just do that. That's a skill that not everyone possesses, right? Like a lot of my friends are like socially awkward, and what you did just then, that describing that to them would cause them to break out in a sweat.
Oh boy.
Like, absolutely. Not even no. There's no probably. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
you've
common.
got that.
Look. The only thing I break out in a sweat to is when I'm trying to order food.
Decisions. There's so many decisions.
No. He just doesn't like talking to like store clerks.
Oh, come on. You're great at talking,
Like,
mate. It's part of your job.
I can
How can
speak
you not like
to
it?
almost anyone else. It's just receiving customer service from someone else is real funky for some reason.
Really?
This
You're
is why he
really
has a
good at- you're
girlfriend.
Yes.
This is why he has a girlfriend.
What does he hand it to you? Like, hey, honey, can you do this for me? Like, really?
I
Want
have
to do
done
this
that a
again?
couple of times.
Guys,
So no judgment. It's totally fine. But like at the same time, like you clearly excel at it though. So it surprises me. I wouldn't have picked that.
Shit at ordering food. Absolute shit at ordering food.
He does this a lot because he knows that I'm the one who intimidates every store clerk because I sound more like a store clerk than the actual store clerk.
Yes.
Oh, you have short girl energy. That's a thing. That's a real thing.
She more or less pulls
Absolutely
off
do.
the
Yeah.
yes, customer service voice. You notice it pretty frequently whenever she goes out and orders things.
I absolutely believe it. I get something similar, but I mean, I don't have customer service, but I sound how I sound. And so a lot of people will generally ask me to double take. And it's usually because they want me to repeat something because they just want to hear me again. I get that a lot. Like, ordering coffee, I get that a lot. But at the same time, though, like I absolutely know what that's like trying to order something, and it's like, come on, man. Look, I don't want this interaction. You don't want this interaction, but I need food. Like it's a real simple. Like I need to eat. We both don't want to be here right now, but we've got to get this done.
Yeah,
we're both in this
very
experience. But I think it's good you can just pass the thing off. I don't have that ability. I can't pass the phone to my cat, so it's very jealous.
The cat will do a
Congratulations.
reasonable job, I'd say.
The cat will try. The cat will be a little fucking goblin and return to eating my plants. But yes, yeah, it
Wait,
will.
the cat's eating your plants? Oh god.
Absolutely, it just wants to gnaw my fucking plants. It's a 6-month-old kitten, and it's adorable, and I love it. But it wants to eat my fucking plants, and I can't get it to stop eating my plants. So
Yeah, so
here we are.
half the things in this particular, let's say, in this particular flat have pretty much been turned into cat-themed things.
That's really fucking cute. Do you have cats?
No,
I used to have cat.
but the one next to me used to
But-
be in a family with 4 cats.
That'll do it. But
Yeah.
you also do art and whatnot, and you also mentioned anime, and there's also like a cat theme recurring anime for whatever reason. Also, cats are fucking cute, man. So like, I get it. It
Yeah.
doesn't bother me.
I swear the animation thing wasn't because of cat. I swear it
yeah.
wasn't.
It's okay, no judgment. It's okay. You can tell us. It's all safe here.
Yeah.
I had a crush on a guy and he just needed a video.
So she
Oh.
learnt how to do motion design.
That's really sweet. But my God, you have a giant heart. Not only did you move across the world, but you like the dudes you learn at. That's fucking cool, man. That's really cool. Like, think about it right for a second. Some people are like, oh, I really like the person. Maybe we'll send them flowers. You're like, fuck that. I will go and learn a skill specifically to impress you, you motherfucker, and you will love me. It is really generally impressive. And then
People need to have ambition.
yeah, I think that goes a little step above. Like that's something else. Like that's fucking cool. I'm not shitting you for it, and I'm not putting you down, but that's actually genuinely impressive that you were like, nope, it's gone past ambition. You just wanted to learn a skill for a purpose, and you went and did it. And also now, like, you move across the world. So like, you seem like one of the people that if you put your mind to it, you end up doing the thing. Am I in the ballpark?
Let's see. Okay, I have a general rule for things. Nowadays, it wasn't always this way, but there is a general rule I do make. The question is, like, especially if it's anything monetary, let's say monetary things. My thing is, if I'm going to be buying this thing, will I be able to earn that money back within 1 month?
Oh, you're one of the. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. I need to know. Do you look at purchases as like, let's just say you go for dinner, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you'll be like, oh, that was X amount of hours of my life.
Oh, that's me.
That's him.
Okay, that tracks. Yeah. Me, I was being there, done that prior to streaming. That was the thing. Yeah, absolutely. I'd be like, oh, well, that was 2 hours of my life. Fantastic. I could measure purchases in hours. It was, yeah. It's difficult, isn't it? Yeah, it's difficult. It's almost sombering.
It was
Continue.
if it's food, that's usually him. If it's
Yeah.
for me, it's more so anything that's not food.
Yeah, how does one put it? So at some point, I picked up a 4070.
Mm-hmm.
The following week, she picked up a 4080 and then managed to pay the damn thing off within like 2 weeks. So
Damn, girl.
No, it's 1 week.
yeah, it
So
was
you,
1
you
week.
do artwork, right? You said. Freelance? I heard?
Motion design and then live 2D rigging. So if you see the guy moving right in front of you, aka the
Yep.
chick moving right in front of you,
Yeah.
Aha.
that is moved by me.
Well, so you aren't. So as in you've moved it. You're not physically moving it now.
No.
It's just.
It's
It's-
just I'm in charge. Like think of it like this: when you make a 3D model, you need to give it bones and muscles.
He does all
Absolutely.
the rigging and the what's it called? Yeah, making things function basically. So yes, this is me being tracked. Yep, but she's the one that's responsible for the tracking working.
It's genuinely really cool. I've actually actually I can segue into this because it's a good question you had. You said one of your questions were memory serves, right? My thoughts were on VTubers, which
Yep.
felt very self-serving, and I'm about it. So let's do it. I have no problem with them. I think they're great, man. I think they're fucking cool. I think they are potentially the future of Twitch. I think that's really cool. Like, there will always be a place for people who use cameras and faces, and I mean, I can say that as someone who doesn't, but that's a very conscious choice. But VTubers, I think, are fucking cool. Are really, really generally cool, and some of them are really well done. Like, really well done. Yours is actually really quite good. In particular, I've seen a lot of VTubers. You can. There's also what's the other one? It's like PNG tubers. It's not really a VTuber. It is, but it isn't.
Yeah, it's
There's a
pretty much the equivalent of a rant sonar. At
so
that point, yeah.
people think
Yeah, you get
PNG tubers haven't been here for a while. I can
No, they've been around
confirm.
for yonks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rant sonars.
Been around for ages.
Rant sonars existed since oh god, pretty much since the opening of YouTube. Fuck.
No, they've been around for ages.
Yeah.
I just think that VTubers are really cool. At least on Twitch, anyway. I think it's good that that's actually they're seeing more of a rise in popularity. I think, look, they've been around for yonks, but I think they really took off. Could be wrong, but I want to say they really took off with like Code Miko. She came out of nowhere, really.
In the English side, it would be Code Miko. In terms,
Yeah.
it's kind of funny because here it's Code Miko, and then you have Iron Mouse as well. Those are kind of the
Yep.
two big ones.
Familiar with those, yeah.
Yeah. There's a really weird one in the German side known as Sophius. She is now an anime voice actor. So in Germany. So that's the one in Germany. And then in Japan, people kind of put it in a different, like they have certain stages where people made the biggest impact.
Okay.
So in our case, it was Kizu no Ai, then we had like Hololive, then we had Nichi Sanji, so on and so forth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just big companies stepping in and being like, yes, we can now shove things into this field. Let us shove things into this field.
That doesn't surprise me. I do think it's really cool. The VTubers are fantastic. Like, legit, they are, I want to say, probably the future of it, how things are leaning. It gives a level of comfort and accessibility. So for me, I don't use a camera because, well, one, I don't really need one. I put gameplay first and foremost. And I mean, you've got ears, you can hear me. I don't need a camera. It's fine. You can hear what I'm saying and I'm expressing myself. That's fine. But I do think that for those who want a little bit more interactivity, they would want a bit more, just general interaction with their audience and viewers. VTubers are a fantastic method and way to go about doing it. Also, it allows you to express yourself in whatever way you choose to, and I think that's fantastic. It allows you to express yourself in a way that you otherwise couldn't without a camera, or with a camera potentially. So yeah, I love VTubers. There's also people who do in between. They do, it's like a half VTuber, half like eye tracked, like as in the physical eye trackers on the screen, like the Tobii eye tracker. So there's a lot of people who do variants of. I think traditional VTube is really good. One of my friends, Neffany, name is Steph. Neffany has a VTube model rig. That's really good. I genuinely like it. It's really, really, really fucking cool. Eyes seem to react all in real time. All that. It's bonkers. I don't know how much goes into rigging a VTube model, and I'm sure that we could probably talk about this all day, and I would be enthralled to hear it because I want to know. But it seems like it's a ton of work.
2 weeks of work full time.
Okay.
That's a lot. That's a lot, though, right? For a single rig, isn't it? It sounds like a lot.
Okay. So rigging isn't my main thing. My main thing is called motion design. So if you ever see, have you ever heard of Lily Pichu?
Lily Peach, of course I have. Yes. Who
Yes,
hasn't?
and you know she does music videos.
I do. Yes.
Yeah, most of our music videos are using the just concept of motion design, which is think of if Premiere Pro and Photoshop had a child.
Okay.
And you suddenly see a bunch of PNGs suddenly moving around in a very interesting way.
One good-looking kid. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a very messed up looking kid, but this little kid is doing its best.
They've got a lot of talent. Yeah, they can do a lot. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Wow. Okay, continue.
I will say, in terms of the best way I can explain it is that rigging is 70% logistics and 30% creativity. So if you are somehow an engineer, you can weirdly do that very easily because you've had to do logistics quite a bit.
So the skills actually are transferable.
Yeah. In fact,
cool.
some jobs will definitely help you better. If you're an artist, obviously you're gonna have the understanding of angles. If you're an engineer, you'll have the understanding of just organization.
Yeah.
Physics.
Yeah, well, obviously you need to. Yeah.
And in my case, because I'm in motion design, I understand physics, and because I also used to be a photographer for a bunch of events in Toronto.
This is so cool. It's like, what didn't you do? But continue.
He has worked for what's Trudeau known as? President?
Oh, right. Prime Minister.
Prime Minister. Yes.
I've done a video for the Prime Minister.
I need to know, is he a dickhead in person or is he lovely?
Thankfully, I didn't have to talk to him much, but
Okay,
all you need to know is that prime ministers that have to do anything with the French have some weird history with dating their friend's mother.
I would believe that entirely. I would totally believe that. Absolutely. The moment you mentioned the French, I was like, listen, I love you French people, but absolutely, you guys have a history. It's a thing.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. It's absolutely a thing. Thank God. Okay, yeah, because if I said that, I'd get cancelled, but the fact that you agree with me is great. Thank you.
All you need to do is the best. Honestly, if you want like good representation of France, ironically, John Wick 4 has really good representation.
You mean...
I hear that his accent wasn't great though. And I saw the movie, so I liked it. But yeah, his accent.
It is a very good depiction of a French guy being an asswipe. Anyway.
Oh, okay, yeah, that tracks. That absolutely tracks.
Yeah,
so he was.
And they got the diversity right in like Paris. That is very true in terms of diversity.
So they managed to keep things well done, essentially.
Did you like the side pivot? But did you like the movie?
Oh yeah, we saw it in a 40x theater as well.
Ooh,
so we had
beautiful.
water, air, etc. spraying at us. Yeah. And the seats rocking and everything.
Sure. Was it awesome?
Yeah,
That's
it was
great.
Bloody
I can't do
great.
that.
Yeah.
I went to Gold Class. Your experience sounds way better.
Yep.
I didn't even. That sounds fucking sick. Yeah, it was great. It was look as a long run time. I don't want to spoil the movie. Long run time, but good movie. I did enjoy it.
Long run time. God, just Christ.
It doesn't feel like a long movie.
No, it was bloody long.
It was long, man. Yeah, I got to agree with you. It was long. I thought the few action sequences you could probably cut by 5 minutes, but whatever. It was still sick. I still loved it. That was. If I had to rank them, I'm still going 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sorry, I'm that guy. I still think the first one was the best one. Maybe because it just felt more grounded. Just for me, personally, it just felt more believable, more grounded.
Okay, so,
but I loved the expanded story.
The way I'd put it is, first one, they didn't have very high budgets. They had to be super efficient. And the efficiency is gone through the storytelling, through... Let's see, how does one put a lot of signposting and a lot of...
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of signposting, a lot of implications rather than direct explanations and... Let's see... exposition on the matter. So instead, you would end up with, okay, welcome to the Continental. This man, his name is Charon. Okay, what do you hand Charon? Yes, a gold coin. There you go. And it's just very quiet, show don't tell for a lot of stuff.
A lot of it is, and I like that. I also... A lot of it goes... There's a lot of really good callbacks. Like, coins are for everything, and coins, it is understood anyway, are given if you have either murdered someone or murdered several people. And in the very opening sequence of John Wick, when he opens that chest or case, there's just gold coins everywhere. That's all it is, pretty much, other than weapons. It's a really nice bit of world building. You nailed it. Show don't tell. Yep. Absolutely. Nailed it completely. All right, my cat is being a goblin. Millie, I love you, but I can still adopt you out. I'll do it. I wouldn't, obviously. Anyway, yeah, I love that you. Thank you for for telling me I did not know that. You've actually given me a bit of perspective on it that I didn't have prior. So points for that. Speaking of movies, I want to see the Dungeons and Dragons movie. I'm not even a big D&D guy, man, but I hear it's good.
I've heard it's good as well. I saw a little article on some of the liberties they took here and there, and makes sense from storytelling perspective anyway.
You've
So,
kind of
yeah.
gone to it's a movie, right? Yeah. I'm totally down. You're trying to adapt a nerd thing into a movie, and don't get me wrong, the Mario movie has attempted that, and I'm told that critics hated it, but people liked it. So
Yeah.
It's
I think that
it's
Sorry.
it's interesting for me to see like John Wick 1 versus 4.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Sheer difference.
Yeah.
Sheer
But-
yeah, night and day.
But one thing I will say is, as a creative and someone who's also been in the film kind of industry, kind of somewhere along the lines, 4, I have more respect for 4 in a different way.
Really? Tell me more. Elaborate.
For one, the amount of stuntmen on the amount of stuntmen that had to be in John Wick 4.
I gotta pause. They reused one of the stunt. Well, they probably used many, but I definitely know for a fact they reused one of the same stuntmen in 4 that they did in 1, and I only recognized him because of his beard. And when he came on the screen, I was like, I'm pretty sure I saw you got impaled to a table and shot in the head at number 1. I know you did. Okay, what are you doing
It's
alive? You're
like
fucking
there
dead.
was a staff of like 25 plus stuntmen or something.
There were 25 stuntmen, and apparently, according to behind the scenes, John Wick apparently gave them shirts that basically gave the counter of how many times they were killed by John Wick.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Actually, I read the same article. The amount of stair falls in that movie was insane. I would not want to be the person, but I really hope they got paid extremely well for that.
Oh, they
got-
definitely did. Yeah.
They got
Yeah.
paid they even got given very premium watches.
Yeah, that is a lot of fucking stairs. If you fall downstairs, you don't do that. That's a lot of
Stairs is
stairs.
not fun to fall down. This
No,
one's fallen
and then it's a lot of
downstairs
stairs.
multiple times.
We're not going to spoil and say how many stairs, but it's a lot of stairs. And I just like, come on, man,
all you
please.
need to
He's
know
already
is-
dead.
All you need to know is there's this one particular staircase in France.
It's a lot of stairs.
Yeah, it's known to be one of the most annoying staircases to go up.
I totally believe it. And if you,
I have been up it. It is not worth it.
Did you like Donnie Yen, by the way?
Blind man. Yes.
Yeah.
Donnie Yen's
He
good.
played Kane.
In general, a lot of people, especially in Hong Kong, respect him.
I need to type this to you because I can't spoil it, but I'm typing it to you on Discord. It's the thing that really fucking pissed me off. Okay, I'm typing it. I can't spoil it.
All I will say is that Donnie Yen is kind of have the same respect, if not more respect, in Hong Kong versus Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan's losing respect these days, but he kind of has to, or else his family kind of gets the axe.
Sorry, I had to type that too. It blew my mind. I couldn't. I just, how? How? It pulled me out immediately. I'm watching that scene, and that happens. I was sitting there in the cinema. I was like, no, absolutely not. I understand that you can kill fucking 17 dudes with the playing card or whatever, but that's too far for me, sir. You've pulled me out.
Let's see. Depending on the brand of cards, you'd be able to tell. That's
Come on.
That's all I'd be able to say.
Don't. Logic, you don't. You can't explain this. Don't even try. Absolutely.
Look, okay. So here's an example from a different game. Top levels of Mahjong, we legitimately felt the bottom of tiles before flipping them up.
So you're saying it's doable
It's
to
doable.
some degree.
To some degree, it is doable. However, that is just bullshit.
Yeah. Thank you. I was like, please validate me because I need to. I can't be the only one.
Because it would have to be one or two very specific brands. If not, it'd be impossible.
Look, and we know that with the whole scene anyway, and how it goes down, so it would track. But yeah, it just bothered me completely. Yeah. And also when the hands were dealt, because obviously the odds of getting X, Y, and Z. I was like, okay, that's never happening. I understand you're doing this for theatrical purposes, but still, it's like one in 10,000 or something really dumb.
I see worse odds every day. Don't worry about it.
I will say.
Did you get some?
I will say.
I have some
really weird gripes about one thing about 1 versus 4.
Oh, okay, it's 1. It's been and gone. What's the gripe?
You know the text they use for translations?
Yes. Oh, how you mean how it pops up on the screen in?
Yeah.
I absolutely hate the font and color choice they use for the first one versus the fourth one.
I see.
Because,
Wait, do you prefer it in
President
changed it
of
in
fourth
2.
one.
Actually, they changed it in 2. I actually like number. Oh, as in, do you mean like certain text was colored differently? Like if it was something
Okay.
passive, it was blue.
Okay, here's the thing. It makes more the fourth one is probably the most, I guess, accessible than the 1st
I'm
one.
actually trying to think of the subtitles and. Oh yeah. No, I got them.
Yeah, so
It's like a green. It's like a bluey green, though, isn't it?
blue and green, and then sometimes red. The issue
Yeah.
is the particular shades they use, and I'm becoming the biggest like
It's a
color critic.
motion design
No
brain.
judgment.
so,
It's fine.
yes.
It's kind of your brain. It's fine.
One thing to keep in mind is the 3 colors they use for specifically the first one are non-accessible colors to a lot of men who are colorblind.
I never thought of it like that.
So
But
instead, certain colors like green will probably show up as brown, the blue will
Mhm.
probably show up as a lighter color, blue, while the red will probably show up as an orange.
Oh yeah, they had that entire scene as well. If you remember in 4, how the lights are red and they're green and whatnot.
Yeah.
I wonder how they'd probably perceive that too. It would look completely different to them.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Huh, I never thought of that actually like that.
Meanwhile,
Thank
in
you.
4, they're all yellow. And even though yellow... And the thing is,
Oh?
like, mostly yellow.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, absolutely. That's right. Mostly, yeah.
And the thing about yellow is it's not only more accessible to a lot of people with eye issues. So some people with eye issues, how they solve it is they have people use yellow paper instead of white paper.
Oh, I've always wanted to know. Man, I'm learning so much here. Like I think I've come out here on top. Like I'm learning way more
Wow.
Yeah.
than you have.
And then also yellow is one of the few colors in color blindness that usually does not have issues.
Oh yeah, that's just the most common ones like red, green, usually.
Yeah, it's red green
Yeah.
that's usually the most that most people have struggles in color blindness with.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine, Morgan, who is that kind of colorblind, and I will be playing, and she'll be like, "Where's the guy?" I'm like, "Oh, it's the red shirt in the autumn trees," and she's like, "Cool, well, I'm fucking blind, man. I'm never gonna see him. Like, he's just, I'm never gonna spot him in a million years. I got no idea what you're talking about, Alan. He may as well be invisible. Like, I'm just not gonna see
Oh
him.
boy. Yeah.
So I understand that one entirely. I think. Thank you for fucking running me through that, though. Low key, absolutely.
Yeah.
I have a question. When you do the rigging for the VTuber model, is that you said there was 2 weeks? You touched on that very briefly. 2 weeks full time.
For me it takes 6 days.
She's
Okay.
a
All right, well,
random
come on.
exception.
Just,
Yeah.
all right, flex on me. But yeah, all right, cool. But no, honestly, mate, like if you've got it, flaunt it. No sweat on that one.
So
Did you?
as for the timing for like rigging, funny enough, rigging is actually my night job. So I put motion design in the afternoon while I put rigging at
Stop it.
night for my sanity.
Yeah. So I'm staring at my OBS right now. She's staring at the Live 2D program.
That's so cool. I fucking love that. So do you, if you ever notice something, so you're just watching it, seeing it animate in real time, like rig in real time. That's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
The best way
very
I can
well.
explain it is that
Do you have full range of motion with that, by the way, or are you limited to some degree?
Let's say anything related to head and body movements, full range. Arms are specific toggles.
yeah,
Okay.
you can do hand toggles. I refuse to do them. Please just get a 3D artist.
3D is a lot easier for hand toggles, basically.
It is okay to put it in perspective. Technically, the equipment is very accessible if you're doing VTubing, but if you want a certain level of tracking, you still have to get certain equipment / knowing people who knows your special needs.
Wow. I
So,
like that.
so specifically, say Eco. Eco's the type of person that doesn't move as much, but will heavily require looking at least at 2 monitors.
Yes.
So at the most, his range of motion is based on of how he looks at 2 monitors that are specifically 24-inch.
I've so many things I need to boil simplify. Information overload. Okay.
Basically,
There's
all
a
you
lot.
need to know is depending on how someone moves, you can either enhance the motion or you can sometimes decrease the motion.
Thank you. That helps me a lot. You've just done. I'm sorry. There's just so many fucking questions. Okay, so when you no, I'm not going down this rabbit hole. I'm not going down this rabbit hole. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it because I have so many questions. I know. Fuck it. I need to know. When you say I don't get a 3D artist, why is that?
Okay, so the player perspective, Wife Today does have.
I'm sorry. I just need to know. I've got so many. I'm so curious. You can't.
Okay.
Give me that. Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you a quick thing. So a lot of 3D. So the thing is, the main tracker for Wife 2D, there are two of them. One of them is known as VTube Studio, and the other one is known as Nisma. Both of them are using two different types of trackers. One of them is specifically using a 3D tracker known as VC Face, while the one in Nisma uses a tracker known as Visage, which, if you ever seen any of those editing apps like Snow and those ones, where it's all about face enhancement or de-enhancement, that is what...
Oh, so it's separate programs for individual things?
Yes. So...
Wow. Okay, that's resource... Oh, wow. Sorry, keep going. I get why the 4080. It makes sense now. Continue.
Yeah, I mean, 4080... No, 4080 is my... 4080 was just to one-up him.
Right, sorry, yeah. Keep going. I mean, I get it. You got to flex. I mean, why wouldn't you? Absolutely. It's a business expense. We're good. Yeah,
it's a business expense.
That's
it is 100% a business
right?
expense.
Yeah, it's like the coffee. Yeah, continue. Yeah.
But yeah. And the thing is about both of those trackers is on a phone, one of those trackers is specifically using the iOS tracking, which is AR, which is only limited to about a 70-degree angle left and right, and not much going up and down. The Visage one actually does do better up and down. So...
Okay. There's way more to this than I thought, man. I'm fucking mind blown right now. There's individual programs. Oh, that's...
So let's say tracking hardware plus tracking software. Many different ranges of motion depending.
Yeah, so would you have to have... That means for a full VTube setup, circling back around to it.
Yeah.
But when I mentioned before that I think they're the future of it, would that mean for a full proper VTube setup, you should probably be using a dual PC setup?
Not exactly. At least you should at least have a separate device, like an iPhone.
Okay, if you're playing something like Hunt, Apex on that kind of level of, let's see.
Yeah, my friend Neffany tried to play Hunt, and her rig it didn't crash, but it lagged real hard.
Yeah, if you're doing that kind of stuff, you'll want either a very beefy rig. If not, you can dual PC stream and eliminate most of the issues.
Yeah, she was having major slowdown. She had to actually turn the rig off because she was like, it's just so CPU intensive.
Yeah, if you're using the webcam tracking, for example, so of the two she mentioned, there's webcam tracking, there is ARKit. iPhone tracking.
Like iPhone tracking.
So webcam is very intensive on your system. It'll drain like 15% of your resources, give or take. Whereas the phone tracking will consume about 5%. That 5% is still pretty beefy here and there for some things.
Yeah.
That helps me.
It is weird. It is weird because for some reason the Wi-Fi tracking is actually even lighter.
Yeah.
But as an Aussie, you really don't want to be using Wi-Fi tracking that much.
Wi-Fi, we invented it. We're shit with it. Right.
We invented it and we're shit with it. Absolutely. Also, it doesn't actually stand for anything, which is really cool.
Yeah, went to the university that invented it. Ain't that great?
That's so cool. That's mate. I tried a rig very briefly with one of my emotes. It was the bruh was animated. There was footage. It was a whole thing. It was really cool. We liked it. Just the eyes moved and whatnot. It was just very simple. One of my friends rigged it for me. But even having that webcam on and that one, yeah, you are absolutely spot on. My resources were drained. If I played anything really CPU intensive, it would slow.
Oh yeah,
I can tell.
100%. Most multiplayer FPS games will pretty much just chug.
It's funny when speaking about this because it's not just rig. It's also whenever you get like animated stream graphics or even animated emotes.
Oh, you are spot on. I've noticed as well if I have OBS on and I have my preview on and I'm playing Hunt and I see someone spam, for example, just go with my animated emote. If someone spams that, like a wall of that, it just starts to slow down completely. Even reading it in my chat, it will slow down. If I turn the preview off, no problem.
It's funny about that because it's because of the file choice you use. So how much have you checked into file like type?
not really at all, to be honest with you.
Okay, I'll give you a brief rundown. So,
Please.
okay, so GIFs is the one that people are very used to.
Correct.
It is known to be very light, but it is also has not a great quality, honestly, if you zoom in.
You're stuck to a very limited color palette,
Yeah.
basically, and it's not going to render perfect, so
Yeah.
to speak.
It's not really going to do that. Then there's MP4. The only issue with MP4 is there's no transparency, but that is the lightest in both senses between your FPS and also just the weight of the file itself.
Mhm.
Then there's MOV. It is MOV or AVI. So MOV is the Apple one, but people have made very normal too.
Yep.
Both of those are also
Yeah.
transparent items, but they take up a lot of resources. However, are better for like FPS.
Yeah.
Less intensive.
Yeah, less intensive, but it
File
is
size.
file size is pretty
Wait,
big.
so do you? Wow. So if you, okay, no, actually, I won't go down that rabbit hole. Please continue.
And then the last one, which is the one that a lot of people actually use for a lot of web stuff, is known as WebM. It is
Yeah, I know
a
WebM. Yeah.
yeah.
The majority of my sources are WebM. Yeah.
Mhm. Most of your sources are WebM. So WebM is pretty good. The only downside is my recommendation, weirdly enough, is to never exceed like 4 seconds in a WebM file because it does actually tank your FPS.
Can be fairly heavy. Can be fairly heavy.
I am fucking learning so cunting much. This is not what I had planned in any way, shape, or form. I was like, this will be a nice thing, and I will talk about some stuff. And instead, I am learning a ton, and I am really generally enjoying that. Thank you. If this is something you ever want to repeat or redo, can the pair of you be here so I can just learn things, please? Because I
Yeah,
love learning. I
sure,
love it.
sure.
When I finish stream, my post-stream ritual is I will usually make some sort of food and I'll watch something or I will read a book. That's usually, but it's always, if I'm watching something on YouTube, it's always knowledge based. I'm always consuming knowledge in some capacity. So I want to legitimately hear all this because I've always wanted to know how much goes into it. Yeah, chat's right. They are hitting us with knowledge, but they are. I really wanted to know, man. Thank you. Generally, the pair of you, legitimately thank you. Seriously, you should do a class on this. This is stuff that people actually want to know.
Most of my streams are very like learning based, just because.
She's practically an educational streamer when she streams.
Yeah, that's fucking cool.
Every Wikipedia I'm in, for some reason that I even have a Wikipedia. Why do I have a Wikipedia?
The fact that you even mentioned every Wikipedia you're in is pretty much everything you need to know. Right? Like, I have my own Wikipedia entry, like enough said.
It's
Yeah.
just like, yeah, she gets shoved in a wiki page and it's like educational streamer.
That's fucking cool. So for the people so most of my people will generally fall asleep to me, but for the people of mine that are here, can you put a link for them so they can know as well? Obviously they're here for Equus and all that, but could you give them the link because they probably are unfamiliar?
Let's see.
For the ones of mine that are here and are actually around, I'm sure the majority are probably around or not asleep or whatever. Apologies for that, but I mean it's the time we got. I'm sorry for that. I'm normally streaming like midday, but lately I've been doing really late streams. I have like no schedule, as we touched on before.
Let's see. There we go. There's her channel. Oh, I'm being recommended on her channel.
Yeah, 'cause- I mean that's just how I host everything. I just like usually how my host order is starting with, well, obviously my boyfriend, and then
Yes,
pretty
obviously,
much
yes.
anyone I've rigged for.
Have you done? Hang on. Is there? I need to check if there is a list of people that you have rigged for. Is it
I
there
have-
somewhere?
I have rigged for a total of 19 people as of 2022.
Oh,
God damn.
there's a lot of them.
Ah, there it is. There's the credits. That's what I was after.
There's a lot of people. I don't know why I receive a lot of guys.
Maybe that's like your stuff, dude. Maybe they saw Ecos and or others, and they were like, you know what? I like this. Absolutely.
It's interesting, cause even though I mentioned rigging, and rigging is one of my things, people more know me for my motion design stuff, because I work for corporate companies under motion design.
Dude. Fucking 12 out of 10, man. I'm learning so much. So if I need someone who wants VTubing stuff, I can ping them at you, is what you're saying. That's what I'm hearing.
You can.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know anyone, but when I do, it's the Aussie network. It is absolutely the Aussie network. It is with
Aussie network. Yes,
it
have
is
a
pretty
whole
much.
bunch
It's
of
what it's
Aussies.
become. Damn, dude.
There's a lot of really good Aussies in the space, mostly because of time zone. My goodness, the time zone here is amazing. I love it.
I hate daylight savings, but other than that, absolutely.
Daylight
it's what it
savings.
is.
We're past daylight savings. It's great, isn't it?
I know. Now I'm happy. Right now we're good. Now I'm genuinely happy with that one. I think that I think it's good though that you can openly discuss what goes into all of this, because a lot of people, myself included, prior to this, knew that it was work, but really not what the amount was. I thought it was animating like as you would animate a game or something like that. So to me,
not quite.
It's
Definitely.
exactly,
not,
yeah.
Funny enough, my main work is actually more closer to coding than Live 2D. Live 2D is more so. Let's just say it's looking at a bunch of rotations, dragging these PNGs onto these rotation kind of tools, and then hoping everything will work well.
I have learned a lot about it now, and I've realized there's more that goes into it. And there was something, I think it was one of your questions. It was something on the lines of, it was something like, is there anything unique I think a VTuber can accomplish? I think something along those lines. And there are some things I want to touch on that, because there are some things that a VTuber can absolutely do that you probably can't do with your regular streamer. You have a greater. It's going to sound silly, but maybe you might understand it. Your range of motion, although more limited in terms of what you can accurately express as yourself, although in terms of the range of motion is limited, your actual expressiveness can be more. Like, I can see your eyes in greater detail, right? Because it's animated. I can see your eyes better. I can see your actual range better, and it's really good. So I think your VTuber's ability to actually connect and engage with an audience is far greater than your regular camera creator, because a camera creator has to be constantly animated to do all that. VTuber doesn't, because you're fucking animated all the time. Also literally animated all the time.
Yeah.
You get me, right?
Let's see. I can actually show a quick comparison against what.
If you'd like to, I'd like to. Yeah.
Against what rigging looks like compared to what the actual tracking looks like.
It's funny.
Keep going.
It's funny because the best way I can explain it is Okay, there are two things. This is like a trick to all VTubers, by the way. So if you want this, please take notes.
I'm literally taking notes.
Two things that would actually make a VTuber look very animated and overall very expressive. One, your eyebrows. Do not cover your eyebrows whenever you're VTubing. This is a weird thing. But
okay, do not cover I actually can see Iku's eyebrows. They're covered, but it's transparent actually over the. Yeah, I've just noticed that.
But even just in real life too, whenever you're the real person, make sure your eyebrows are not covered.
Okay.
Ironically, you can actually wear glasses with this. Iko is actually wearing glasses right now.
Yep. And I'm about to just pull up a webcam and show comparisons. Anyway, let's see.
Yes, because you recently showed your face.
Yeah, it's fine.
Had you not done that earlier? Was that not a thing you had done prior?
It's interesting.
50-50.
I feel like you're in the same camp as myself, which is like you don't use a camera, but it's not a secret what you look like. My photo is literally everywhere. It's very easy to find what I look like. Don't hide it.
It's funny because some VTubers are more known. For some reason, there's weirdly a lot of articles of me saying part of this range of articles that's saying 13 VTubers who have face reveals. I do not understand. And the thing is, my face reveal isn't even out there that much because I cover my mouth in every single photo.
Okay, is there just reasons? You're just like, I don't want people to see my mouth?
It's just more privacy at this point.
Understood. If it's like yeah, understood. Totally. That's fine. I was just curious if there was a particular reason. And privacy works. Yeah.
Let's see. All right, I'll pull up the comparison more or less. Sorry if the ISO is a bit funky or if there's a funky amount of blurriness.
Thank you for actually allowing me to see all this. It's a peek behind the curtain. It's fucking fascinating.
Anyhow, hello.
Hey, baby.
Simple enough. But yes, you can see the difference in expression, essentially.
I was going to ask what you're wearing, but I can see, so I can fill out. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Continue, sorry.
If you notice, it does more or less catch eye movements pretty well.
It does.
even glasses or not.
Everything. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
that actually looks fucking cool. If you raise your hand, does it raise as well? Does it
Nah,
move?
that I'd have to actually
That's
use
the
my
hands
3D.
that you were talking about before. Okay.
I'd actually have
Um,
to use my 3D model if I wanted to do perfect hand tracking and all that.
That's so fucking cool. Okay, it looks really good. And when you're smiling, it's doing it. That's fucking
Yeah,
cool, man. That's so good. I
Like,
love
in
that.
a
That is.
nutshell, this is more or less how it ends up working. You just have a phone in front of you and whatnot, and it's just taking a look and analyzing the rest of your face and working through there.
Dude, that's so cool. That's like some uncanny valley shit. How well that works. I love that. Thank you for
Yeah,
sharing that.
It's funny because like there's two things. Because for one, brows I mentioned earlier. Whenever your brows raise, VTuber brows unfortunately don't have a way to adjust them too much. So you kind of have to set 3 different commands for the brows.
That's 3 separate commands.
Yeah. It's
You
not that
end
bad.
up with like a weird wiggly little worm thingamajig.
It does look good though. Legit though. I can see that's so fucking cool.
In,
man.
in progress, it's a little funky to look at.
It's fun.
'cause-
It's fun showing people the worm.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I'm sorry. I am sorry for the 20 questions, but I'm legitimately interested.
Ah,
it is,
fair
it is
enough, fair
really
enough.
cool. It is really cool to get the peek behind the curtain. And like you said, you get to do unique, cool things that you can achieve that others otherwise wouldn't be able to. It looks really good.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you for sharing.
The other one is funny enough. If you have 2 really big monitors and you look left and right very often, yeah, that is weirdly a very good range of motion that you should show as a VTuber.
I
Like-
oh fuck yes, actually you want to touch on that. I did it very briefly. I said very briefly at one point, and I think I must have like droned off doing some story segment of a game, and I guess one of my eyes must have like just lazy eyed to the left, and the camera tracked that. And my VTuber looked fucking, it was like almost cross-eyed at one point. I was like,
Oh,
wait, what? And then I
God.
looked,
Yeah,
I refocused and it refocused, but it really does capture everything.
yeah,
That's
like,
so cool.
to an extent, depending on how it's rigged and whatnot, they can track individually, but real funky.
Also, thanks to the live face real, like we knew what you looked like. It's not a secret.
No,
but,
no,
like,
it's
thanks
not,
anyway.
not a real secret. Yeah.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
because the thing is, he has a very normal last name, and
Oh, yeah. So my own name is so generic that even at work there's 2 of them, and in the education system, when I entered it, you have the New South Wales blah 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 blah, but after my name there was the number 20, and then
Because-
when I came back at one point, it put the number 83 instead. There were just that many of my name that went through.
Very
So,
generic.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Well,
so he has like a very normal last name, and also a face. Like when people see him, they don't immediately notice him.
Oh yeah.
It's a good thing. Believe it me, it's a
you're
good thing.
You're in the wrong industry, mate. You should have gone to intelligence, right? They don't want you to be noticed there. So you could have, should have, would have.
Yeah, unfortunately, I am a very noticeable person with a uncommon name. So
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that'll stick out. Absolutely, like a sore thumb.
There
yeah.
we go.
So that's kind of why, like, if you're someone who's very easy to notice in real life, you're better off with just keeping that a secret.
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. I was actually curious, so thanks. I mean, obviously, people have my reason for it is because I had the lack of cameras. 1, I don't really need it, and 2, when I did use it, I had a stalker. They flew down from Sydney. I'm in Geelong. They flew down from Sydney, rocked at my front door, and said, "Told you I'd find you." So
My-
Oh my god.
My
Yeah, true story.
friend would love to meet someone who lives in Geelong for some reason.
Why? Because we don't think we exist. We do. We only have 2
He loves
things.
Geelong.
We have bollards and a football team. That's all we've got. Okay, that's it. Actually, and Guy Pearce. Guy Pearce is from Geelong. That's all we have. We have 3 things.
Geelong.
He-
Freaking Geelong.
My friend loves like the thought of moving to Geelong for some reason.
I don't
It's
know
lovely.
why.
Okay, you tell them. You absolutely tell them that it is lovely here. I will vouch for it. It is the 2nd largest city in Victoria, but that's not saying much considering the only competition is Melbourne, right? Geelong has 250,000 as a population, considering to Melbourne's like whatever million.
Yep.
It's not much of it. Yeah, it's a massive gap. Yeah, so I'm in Geelong. They flew down from Sydney, rocked up my front door and said, "Told you I'd find you." True story. And
My god.
that is a very long story that I'm getting to when I need to hit some sleep because I'm passing out soon, but I can't go into that just yet. If we ever do this again, I'll gladly go into it.
Yeah,
But it's a
sure.
long
Anyhow.
story, but the,
So
the
with a little bit of trivia when it comes to my name, by the way. You know how one of your redeems tells someone to shut up?
Is it James? It's James.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. So the first
Shut up,
time,
James.
first time I rocked up in your stream, I heard that I was like, wait, hold up.
I'm so sorry. You come in, I'm like, shut the fuck up, James. Like, hang on. Wait the fucking.
Wait a second. Yeah. Yeah, that was my first experience running into one of your streams. Yeah.
Okay, well, it's James. Okay, do you prefer James now? Because you're gonna get James all the time now. You understand that, right? That's
Yeah,
what you're
nah, fair enough, fair dinkum.
It's James,
Yeah.
James, Jim Jam, Dim Drew. It's all versions of that now.
Christ.
I'm so sorry. That's my mod. That is James. That's my one rule is you can respect all my mods except James. I really don't care. Just fucking insult him. I really don't care. He's British, so. We don't care.
I see. Yeah, very acceptable.
Yeah,
Very
he
acceptable.
shits on everything. So I was like, no, fuck you, James. Also, that's why I have an emote, the Geef James. That was an inside joke. It was when it was made. I said we could name it anything, even Geef James, haha. But then obviously because I said that, I kind of just put it into action and everyone voted for that, and it stayed, unfortunately.
Wow.
Yeah, fuck James. No, absolutely. So I'm so sorry when you came in. You're like, wait a minute. promise. I had no knowledge, but now you're probably gonna get it. Just so you know.
Anyhow. Let's see if you're starting to fall asleep. Then let's just
you're
hit up
great.
the last
It's
two
just
questions.
I'm sleepy boy.
Let's hit up the last two.
For 3 hours.
And they're pretty simple questions. These ones.
Yep.
Recommend some food. Any food whatsoever.
Fuck yeah, I love ramen. Ramen's so good. Ramen or dumplings. Get into you. Absolutely.
Ramen or
If you had a
dumpling?
good dumpling, it'll change your life.
Any specific ramen?
There is a nice place in. Oh, I'm gonna go Geelong again. I'm so sorry. By the way, Melbourne has great restaurants. I'm just saying. Like they really do. They really do. There is like a. There's like a Lebanese or something place that's been there since like the 1800s or something dumb.
Christ.
Like a long time. Like a long time. Anyway, yeah. There's a ramen place in Geelong. Oh my goodness, I'm going to mispronounce this. Here we go. It's like Shin Ramyon or something like that. Shin Ramen. No, it's called Shin Ramen. That's the one. Shin Geelong. It's in Warren Ponds. Wholehearted recommend. Yeah. 12 out of 10.
Alright. Because up here we just have one that is like infamous for like ridiculously thick broth, basically.
Like in a good way or a bad way?
In a good way. A lot of people like it. It's very strong flavor and all that. It's just, damn, if you leave that thing for about 30 seconds, a skin of
thick.
fat starts.
It's congealed.
forming.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. Gotta keep moving it.
The history for that one is that in the morning they will just get a lot of beef bones and they will basically have those beef bones sink in for like 12 hours.
Oh, pork bones.
Still-
Pork bones are over. Yeah.
It's still fucking delicious. Absolutely, I want that. Yeah. So yeah, ramen or dumplings, get it in me. And also thank you for the ramen history. I wanted to know that too. I literally want to know it all. Yeah, ramen or dumplings, get it in me. 12 out of 10. Yep.
All right. As the second one, recommend a drink. Any drink whatsoever. I normally ask for an alcoholic one, but any of them.
No, we can do that. Absolutely. I've got a few then if we're going to go alcoholic ones.
Sure.
My go-to at any place ever is Long Island because Long Islands are
God.
delicious. What's wrong? Hey, what was that? What was that, James? What was that? What was that? Oh God, do you hate the Long Island? How dare you?
Long Island is nicknamed Lady Killer in some places, mainly just because, it tastes not much different from just, a tea or a cola. And then you look at
Absolutely.
the alcohol content and it's just like,
It's a lot.
yes.
It will fuck you up. That's why I like it. There's a lot of alcohol in it, and you don't realize it until, hence the nickname. Lady Killer, yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Long Island's are delicious. I do like an old fashioned, absolutely.
Man
course
of
they do.
classics. Yep.
That's usually it's either Long Island or old fashioned. That's my go-to. I have literally walked into a bar in the States and I said, I'll have an old fashioned. And they said, what's that? And I just walked out immediately. I was like,
I have a mate similar to that where they go to various hotel bars and whatnot, ask for a classic cocktail. If they don't know how to make it, tells them to Google it, suffers while watching them make it.
and then, okay, he's gone next. I just walked out. He stands and watches them. He watches them. He wants their pain. I love that.
He goes in, he's like, do you know how to make a sidecar? They're like, no. Okay, Google it.
I've literally I've done even worse than I said to someone. This was in Queensland. I said, "Hi, I'd like a screwdriver." And they go, "What's that?" And I go, "It's literally, you know what? Doesn't matter. I'm not. No, we're out of this. Doesn't matter." Left completely. And finally, if I'm drinking like it's like a straight spirit, Maker's Mark is delicious.
Okay.
I really like Monkey Shoulder. It's got a bit of banana funk to it. It's a blend, but I'm big fan of it. Also, I mean, I like my Glenfiddich, Valley of the Deer. Can't go wrong. Yeah, those are my drinks. Oh, I do actually have a cocktail that I will order if I'm out, though. I am that guy who has a specific cocktail that I will give them the ingredient list to. I have 2 of them depending on how I feel. And also, I'll only do this if I'm at a cocktail bar. I'm not going to go to a regular bar and be like, hey, man, this is my cocktail. I will ask them how good you mixologist, because if they're any good, they'll do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got 2, and they were given to me by a dear friend of mine, and I've kept both of those recipes in my phone. I've kept them in my phone ever since he told me, and yep, I had them when I'm out. One of them is he referred to as the orange brick, which was a shot of Captain Morgan's triple sec, a shot of Captain Morgan's, shot of triple sec, and then it was orange juice and ice, which was actually quite delicious.
Oh yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
And then there was another one. I'm sorry for the long talk on the alcohol. This one's very, very, very sweet. So if you like your sweet cocktails, you're in. If not, don't bother. It is an ounce of we do ounces in this one. There's an ounce of peach schnapps, an ounce of Chambord, an ounce of vodka, and then you fill it with sweet and sour. You top it off with Sprite, and you give it a splash of blue curacao.
Jesus,
that is a very sweet. But he called it the blue brick because it will knock you the fuck out.
Yeah, no, that is sweet. Really sweet.
Yeah, it is. If you like your sweet cocktails. Again, I led with an old fashioned, right? So I really don't mind. I'm like my single malts, but yeah, that's it. Those are my drinks. Yeah. How about yourself?
Fair enough. My go-to is I honestly just go for a gin and tonic if I'm out, because I'm like, there's no way someone can fuck that up.
You'd be surprised, but yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's pretty hard to do.
I think the one funky time I got a jank gin and tonic was just when I went to a cocktail bar and was like, give me your dirtiest gin and tonic, and they gave me olive gin.
Oh, wait, quickly, have you had Aviation Gin? Ryan Reynolds Gin.
Oh, yeah.
Have you tried it? Is it any good? I've always wanted to know.
It's all right.
Okay, cool. That's what I wanted. Thank you. I've had friends who swear by it, and I need to ask someone who is not going to bullshit me. So
I either go for Bombay Sapphire or, let's say...
Oh, I knew I liked you. Oh, I did a commercial for Bombay Sapphire, actually.
Holy shit.
What?
So I do voiceovers for commercials, and one of them was for Bombay Sapphire. And if I ever have to say Bombay Sapphire in a commercial tone ever again, I'm just not doing it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that was
the last time I did... Oh, God.
No, Those are 2, and I can't see them the same. It's Bombay Sapphire, Twix. Oh no, there's one other. It's a yogurt brand we don't get in Australia, but it's Noosa frozen yogurt.
Oh.
That's the other one. Those 3, I can never look at them the same ever again. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, fair enough. For gin, I normally pick up, let's see. Fuck, it's been too long since I've been drinking. Bombay Sapphire. Bombay Sapphire is usually my go-to for a London Dry at least. If not, then I'll just pick up a bottle of Hendrick's.
I like that there is this, at the very end, there's this little trick of like a drinking theme slowly pervading through it, and I'm 12 out of 10 on that one. I wish I'd known earlier. I mean, I did read the questions, to be fair, but I wasn't sure how well you knew your stuff, and it turns out you do, so...
Oh, yeah,
wonderful.
So before I went for the dealer theming, it was originally bartender theming, actually.
Oh, so yeah, I should have done my homework. Yeah, it turns out you know it all.
So let's see, if I pull out a different set of arms here, yep, here's a wine bottle.
The drinks, waiting for it. There it is, of course. Oh, of course you drink, you slut. I love it. It's fantastic.
He's been drinking less because of me.
Yeah, because of her, I drink significantly less, because she dies on half a shot.
Okay,
wow.
Wine I will survive. I will survive wine.
That's why. It's because you're itty bitty, man. You have a good excuse. It's all good.
No, it's just because of family. My entire...
Oh, that too.
There's a specific kind of fermented rice that she will immediately die to out of allergies.
Is that the one that makes your cheeks all red and then that's because you can't process it?
I can't do sake or soju because
that will instantly kill her. Basically,
I'm actually allergic to it. Like, I won't get like a rash or anything, but I will skip over to the hangover phase.
She'll immediately
Markiplier has that, right? Doesn't he have something similar to that?
Similar enough.
Yeah, it's a real shame. Sake's delicious. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, sake's great.
I like my wine.
Red or white?
I'm more of a red person. I like red.
So. I had to hunch, mainly because of the red wine bottle in front of me. That was why.
But yeah, if I'm mixing a drink myself specifically, I almost always have the ingredients for this on hand. Almost. Let's see. The drink is called a Suffering Bastard.
Oh no.
I like it already. Continue.
It was a drink founded in Cairo during the Second World War, mainly to ease the British soldiers which were coming through. Those suffering bastards, basically.
I fucking like this. Please continue.
Okay, so
I'm literally writing this down. Please hold. Yeah.
Yep. So All right. You can take your pick between a shot of bourbon or, let's say, fuck, it's been a while since I've spoken mixology.
I'd probably always go with bourbon, personally.
Yeah, you can put it down as shot of bourbon,
Yep.
shot of London dry gin,
Okay.
then 1 shot of lime juice,
Right.
2 dashes of Angostura bitters.
Ah.
Okay, now shake that all up in a cocktail shaker.
Yep.
Okay, pour that out, double strain it, and then you are going to want to top it all up with ginger ale.
Ooh.
It is a pretty standard tiki drink. You then just garnish that with a sprig of mint.
Oh, actually, speaking of straining and pouring, I do like a good whiskey sour, but I mean, a lot of people tend to fuck it up. Garnish with
Oh, yeah. A lot of people fuck up the whiskey sour simply because of the
all the time.
egg white
the egg,
part.
The egg white. Yep, absolutely. Yep. I knew you'd know that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Done. Written
But
that
yeah,
one down.
Suffering Bastard. Normally, you have to worry about how much ice you put into it. You
I
put
actually
too much.
think I have
then-
all of that except
yeah.
for the ginger ale. I think you've given me a list for tomorrow.
For ginger ale in Australia, I would recommend just grabbing the Bundaberg's ones.
Yeah, that's generally what I go to.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. If you pick up the
Bundaberg,
Schweppes
can't miss.
ones, they're a bit too light, basically.
Yeah, Bundaberg can't miss.
You need the spice, so Bundaberg's one works a lot better.
That actually sounds really good. And when you said it originated in Cairo, that actually tracks.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
totally makes sense to me. Yeah, for the area. Yeah, I'm so down with that. Absolutely. Thank you.
Because yeah,
I'm sorry
that's normally my go-to because it's very smooth. The first time I had it was on stream. I downed 2 of them, didn't realize how much alcohol I had, and flopped over.
Well, you've sold me on it. Thanks, mate. Cheers. Cheers, Jim Jam.
Yep.
It's now Jim Jam. You're welcome.
God damn, I haven't had that nickname since high school.
James and Jim Jam, it's happening. Sorry, buddy. Thank you for that. Thank you for your cocktail. Thank you for also, by the way, to your lovely partner for teaching the giving the rundown. I'm sorry for the 20 questions and dragging you in. I know that probably wasn't the plan, but
Oh no,
you
don't,
had information and I wanted it.
My dad's a professor, so I'm very
Okay.
used to it.
Yeah, cool. Thank you for that. Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, just
Oh, yeah.
actually, so is mine. So I feel you entirely. I wanted to know it. Thank you so much.
Oh
yeah,
my goodness, someone who
normally-
understands professors.
Oh god.
Yeah, he is mine's a professor of mining engineering, but different. Yeah, completely different field. But yeah. I mean,
Fair
it's a different field to animation. Obviously, that's what I'm getting at. Yeah.
Oh no, my dad's in educational psychology.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cool. So they're both in. Yeah, they're all. Wow, fucking cool. What was it? If you try during before stream, let us know. I will, Marksman. If I have that, I'll have it on stream, and I will I'll DM Jim Jam. Be like, hey, buddy, your thing was fucking great. Thank you for that.
Yeah, we'll see how things go with that one. Let's see who's on to raid. Oh,
Thank you for having me, by the way. I really appreciate this. I know it's taken some time to get me, but I wasn't dodging you. I'm just a busy guy.
no,
So I
fair
appreciate
enough,
that.
mate.
Thank
Fair
you.
enough. Like I said, longest I waited was a year for a guy. Even longer than that on radio before, so it's all right.
Thank you. Yeah, if you ever want to do this again, yeah, we'll figure something out. It'll be good.
Yeah,
There's
sure.
a lot.
sure.
I think we only touched on like 2 of the entire things because I
Yeah,
hijacked it,
you
I
managed to
apologize.
touch a couple of them by proxy, roughly.
did.
Yeah. More or less.
Loki
more or less.
apologizing for hijacking you, asking you all the questions, but fuck it, you're interesting, so maybe be less interesting. You've considered that? Yeah.
No, normally what people end up asking about is less the casino stuff and usually about my freelance writing days. Those are funkier. In some
we'll
ways.
get to that, James. I am not done with you, sir. We'll get to that. Thank you.
Because freelance writing days is literally writing for games, writing for tabloid magazines.
We
and
are
a
touching
whole
on
bunch
that
of other
one.
stuff.
It's happening. I'm jotting that one down. Thank you.
But yeah,
Really, truly, thank you for having me. It's been really good. I've not done an interview for quite some time. Last time I did one was a podcast.
Oh,
when I
damn.
just started streaming. Yeah, that was for for a podcast I said when I first started streaming. I must have probably only I just gotten freshly partnered. So yeah.
anyhow, let's see. I'll send you over to Kana, actually. Yeah.
We love Kana. She's good people.
Yep. Rare that I get to raid Kana. For whatever reason, she manages to stream from the start of my working day all the way to the end of my
she
working
does
day.
batshit insane hours, man. Or if she really loves a game, she just goes bananas.
Yeah. I once stuck around for a hunt stream that went for it was like 12 hours a hunt or something. I was like,
Sounds right. Yep, she does
Christ.
that sometimes. She's genuinely wonderful. I have a lot of time for her.
I think like 7 or 8
I'm-
different people came in and out throughout that entire time.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
random guests
absolutely.
popping in. Because
I need to actually-
one
I
of
need to play with him
the
again soon, actually.
one of the let's see, one of the other VTubers out there, which shares a model artist with me, actually collabs with Connor quite a bit. So if you've seen a Terra around, yeah,
Oh, I have. Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
same artist.
Oh. Fucking cool. And yeah, thanks, Mark. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for being here, man. I appreciate that.
Anyhow, yeah, I'll send these guys off. See you
Cool.
guys.
Thank you for having me. It's been really good.
Mm-hmm.
Bye, guys. Have a good one.
Mm-hmm. Have a good one.
All right, and 3, 2, 1, Raidison.
You know, I'm surprised that you're like